Yeah, it's the super sounds of the summer on the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. I was listening to Martha Quinn the other day, and she was explaining that the first song ever on MTV was Video Killed the Radio Star, which is kind of...
I have never heard that.
That's a fun fact. It's a quick fun fact. But whenever I think of David Lee Roth, I always think of Martha Quinn. That was the big thing in the 80s. And David did, anytime that he's going to do a song, it makes it a million times better.
Clearly.
Than the Beach Boys.
He brings a sex appeal that wasn't there before.
Well, I talked to Brian Wilson about this. I go, Brian, is there a reason that you didn't growl and yowl during your show? I dig girls!
And you're like, yeah, that is better.
Yeah, it's better. Because they didn't, I don't know if the Beach Boys even dug the girls. I have a feeling that they didn't. You know what I mean? And that's all acceptable today. Stonewall.
Fluid.
Vito, who picked today's song?
I'm going to go Gail Bennington.
Chris?
I know Ron Bennington picked that song.
So it's up to Joey Jojo as the bumper here.
Gail Bennington.
Joey, I don't mind the other guys, but you should know me better than anybody. I'm always talking to you about Diamond Dave.
I know. He digs the girls.
Wow.
He says he loves Ponytail Dave.
I'm your ice cream man. Oh, yeah. What happened to the big Van Halen comeback? You just don't hear about it anymore.
That was my first concert, David Lee Roth with Van Halen.
It was?
What year was this?
High school, so 2000. That first tour they did back with David Lee Roth, I went to that at the Garden.
I feel crazy here. I didn't know that they did it in the early 2000s.
Yeah, they did it like 2008 or something like that.
It's not even that long ago.
No, I thought that they just did this like 2 years ago. I thought it was a big deal when David Lee Roth got back with them.
Yeah, it was. They don't have any tour dates now, but I think there had to be something between 2008 and now.
You might have seen him with the singer from Extreme. That's probably your first show. How could someone's first show be 2008? 7 years after 9/11.
He's lying. He's lying.
You must have gone to see live music before then.
You're a classic rock kid. I'm spelling classic with a K right there.
No, that was my first concert. And then after that, me and my mom went on a tear through Bruce Springsteen every year he came around.
Attending a concert with your mom. Loving it?
Well, no, Bruce Springsteen's like a family thing. Like when you go to a Bruce Springsteen show, it's just tons of families, like moms rocking out.
What's your mom's favorite Springsteen song?
Hers, I think, is also Grown Up.
I thought it would have been Born to Run. I like the Born to Run song.
She doesn't like hour 3.5 of those concerts.
Starts to get a little tiring.
Like, can we leave? And I'm like, I'm not leaving.
You're not leaving. They haven't done Thunder Road yet. I'm not leaving until Thunder Road. Boom, 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 do, 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 do.
You do age out of concerts, though. Like, it becomes less easy to sit through a long concert.
Oh, yeah.
With age.
I agree.
Like, even within, like, every couple years, I notice that I'm like, ugh, I'm not sure if that's worth it.
Every concert I go to now, I just want to be like the old Motown Review where the band stays the same and a new singer comes out every 2-3 songs. I've seen the Dukes of September do that, and it's refreshing. It's just like, I remember this hit. Thanks for your 3 songs. Back into the crowd now. Ringo Starr does that. He goes on the road and he takes, like 8 different people, and they all had, 2 or 3 songs that were hits. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You can listen to Dreamweaver if you don't have to wait for it. You know what I mean? It's the other songs other than Dreamweaver that get to you. Dreamweaver. I used to sing that to Earl Weaver, and yet I never became the Weird Al. I never caught on the way I wanted to. Who do we got coming in today?
Mr. Mike Vecchione.
Well, here's where my head goes with Mike Vecchione. And Joey should have had a song for this. Mike Vecchione. Ba, ba, ba. I can't believe that the Irish do that now. In the Irish stands, they were singing that song. Not Mike Vecchione.
Right.
I don't want to confuse anyone.
How did they know? So they've taken that on at games now? Like at soccer games?
Yeah, they were at the soccer game and they were all doing it and they were having a wonderful time pretending that they were from Boston. I was very surprised. Let me just say this. Do we got Coach in today?
Coach is here, yeah.
Did she shave her head yet?
No, I still see hair on her head, on her scalp. Very disappointing.
You got them singing that?
Yeah.
Let me hear it. There's always a problem when we don't test the video before we throw it up there. But at least we have a video guy. Hope tried to go to a video on his show today. Nobody was around.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a walkout. Coach, how you feeling about Messi? You excited?
I am very sad.
The other day you were making fun of him.
Yeah, but that was, fun.
You called him a solved-off Spaniard. Well, now he's taught you all. I quit.
Devastating. My family sat around and we were just looking at each other like, he's definitely joking. And then turns out 6 other players just came out the next day and they were like, yeah, we quit too.
You know what I heard, though, and I didn't know this going into it, is they said that the Argentine football club itself, the international club, is run poorly, and perhaps and I'm talking about the front office, not the coach, not the players, but perhaps they're moving funds into their own pocket.
Right.
There always seem to be some kind of scandal in Argentina,
Yeah.
Something untrustworthy.
It's like any major sport has that level of just shady business, but soccer does a lot.
They're the worst.
FIFA has a terrible reputation.
They're horrible people that are just stealing money and fucking doing whatever they want with it. But Ope is into international soccer now.
I didn't know that he was. I listened this morning. I didn't know he was into.
Well, Vic Henley got him into it. For years of me bringing it up, did no good. Vic Henley mentions it once, and he's off to the races with it.
Well, Vic can get people into things. He's so passionate.
He's passionate. He's very knowledgeable about a million things. He ties them all in with Alabama. It's an Alabama fucking getaway with him.
That's why I love the Roll Tide, thanks to Vic Henley.
I wasn't even under. Now, this is a weird thing is they call Alabama the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
But then they call me Deacon Blues, which I don't even know why.
How'd you get that name?
Doesn't it rhyme with Ron? I don't know. I just let it happen. I'm like, yeah, it's me, Deacon Blues. How's everyone? Poor Coach is in over her head. She's just like, they talk about old music all the time. To her, it sounds like we're talking about ragtime. Well, Coach, it's over for Argentina. You fucking trolled Messi until he's done with you assholes.
You mistreated him.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
You called him the little Spaniard too many times.
You bullied him. That's bullying.
I guess it is bullying. Everything is. I know there's a thing up on the Interbank today about a bully poster that the Red Cross, of all people, put up. And everyone's mad at the Red Cross for this because they put up things to do and don't do at the pool under cool and not cool, right? So they're showing a public pool, and if you're running and you're being bad and you're dunking your friend's face, that's
not cool.
Right. Well, the problem is, if you look up at this poster, all the not cool people happen to be of color. And the good people tend to be white. And they said that this poster is a little too true to life, and they need to... First of all, I think it's amazing, because this is the first time in my life that I saw black people in a pool, so...
Yeah, they've got that going.
They got that going, but they're being bad. One of them is smoking, it looks like a crack pipe. The other...
Not cool.
Yeah, not cool. The other stealing someone else's sneakers.
Also not cool.
Not cool. And then there's the white kids, and they're just sitting there nice.
We're just nice.
I think you almost have to be racist to look at a cartoon poster and find racism in it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the answer here is that none of these people are black because they're cartoons. So
yes, that is true. You're right about that. First of all, none of these people are people. You know, we could even go to that point. This is a two-dimensional drawing. That pool, if you attempted to dive into it, you may break your neck because it's not real. But Chris has got, I believe, the biggest public pool in the country right near your home, and you won't go into it.
Oh, no. I feel like there might be too much urine in it. But that's the Astoria pool in Astoria, New York. It's a gigantic pool.
It's the biggest pool I've ever seen.
It's massive.
The closest that one I think is by far the biggest. I've been to the McCarran pool.
In Brooklyn.
And that one I think is a lot smaller than that one, but it was pretty wild. Like when it reopened, I said, there's no way in hell I'm going to go to that. I thought it was gross. I was there like the second day. I was like, actually, all my friends are going, so I'm going to go too.
Did they stop doing concerts in the pool?
Yeah, they filled up the pool. No concerts there. They do it like kind of across the street.
Jim, Wichita.
Ron, you and Chris are both wrong. Big Henley is an avid Auburn fan.
Well, first of all, I never said that he wasn't. I know the whole story about his brother playing there. Chris yelled out, "Roll Tide." But that's just Chris being Chris. He's a contrarian, you know?
Chris drug you into it again, Ron. Got suckered in again.
I guess I'm suckered in.
No, this is on me. It's not on Ron.
No, you know what? I'm the idiot who let myself fucking sit here with you every day.
Look, I don't want you guys to feel alone here. I feel like my hands are dirty too. I agreed. I didn't.
Well, that goes without saying. You're afraid to correct Chris.
Yeah.
Why are you so afraid of this guy?
I don't know why. I'm so afraid.
So
good.
Eagles fan wants to know when the huge delay in the app be addressed. It's only a 4-minute delay today. I noticed that the delay on Opie's channel much easier to deal with. Hey, the other big thing up on the iBang is that car rolling with Jay Leno, and he's had the show on for a year. I think this is the second season. It's Jay Leno's love for cars. But there has to be a car accident before people will pay attention to a car show or a race. And then people say that's not true. But Jay's never gotten this kind of heat for his show, driving in cars without comedians and coffee. Oddly, though, he does seem like he's got a lot more comedians in the previews this year. I don't know whether it's going to play out that way. But it seems like they like comedians in the cars. I'm watching that right now with Seinfeld. But if you see this car roll, Jay's not a young man, and the guy driving is older than Jay. The guy driving is 80.
Yeah.
And then they roll this fucking car, and they've got the GoPro in it, and it looks, I mean, everything turned out okay, but for the second that it's happening, you're like, I think I hear old man bones breaking.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a terrifying jackass stunt. When I saw it, I was
just a jackass stunt.
Thinking, Jay, you're too old for jackass stunts.
If you look at him, it looked like he kind of glared at the old dude after the fact. like how fucking dare you? And this was brought up to me by a friend of mine, TR, that you see Jay pull his arm in out of the window, not to Def Leppard it.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that was open.
He had his arm out the window, and he had to yank it in to keep the arm from being torn off.
Oh my God. Oh, that's terrifying.
Steve in Alabama.
Hey, Ron. Hey, I was going to mention something that I read not too long ago.
I'm glad.
Well, first off, I grew up in Tuscaloosa, and that Steely Dan song's always been kind of a big deal. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide because they mention Alabama, of course.
That's all you need. When your hometown is mentioned, you love the song.
Exactly. But then I read an article by, I think it was Donald Fagen was getting interviewed, and they asked him about that line in particular, and he said what he meant was that they call they give the Alabama fans, which he considers a bunch of rednecks and hicks, this great line called the Crimson Tide, and I'm just a loser, and they call me Deacon Blues. This great line called Deacon Blues.
Well, here's the thing, Donald. None of us would have been able to figure that out. And there is such a thing as reverse racism and reverse bullying. Donald Fagen is one of my favorite people because he's never been in a good mood. There's never, and at some point you want to say to him, you won, you know? You ought to feel good about something. You're a winner.
Why are you so grumpy pants?
Yeah. I mean, you're the winner chicken dinner. You know, you should feel good. And he isn't in a good mood. He's in a very bad mood about everything.
Enjoy life.
Doesn't want to. Somebody was mean to him and when he was 12 because he was fucking had glasses and was playing the piano. And we never got over it. When people are like, when I was 8, the kids in the neighborhood were really... I'm like, you're not 8 now. You know what I mean? You don't sit around fucking digesting the food you had when you were 8. Why does this shit still in your system? Let it go. I got that from the Frozen song.
Mm-hmm. You did.
I was watching Frozen. I'm like, fuck. They are fucking so right. Why am I holding on when I could just let it go? Let it go.
That's why I got this Let It Go tattoo, so I like always remember.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah, just like so I always remember.
Oh. That's great. I always remember 9/11, you know? That's my thing.
You should get a tattoo. Then you'll never forget.
I see people with the 2 buildings, and I'm like, I don't know if that's appropriate, you know? Then I just want to get Texas like Stone Cold right down on my calf. Hey, everybody, look where I'm from.
It would be a pretty cool move if you weren't from Texas.
Yeah.
So.
It's just like
you're
the
from
state,
Texas?
you know. I just thought it'd be cool.
You know, they did call you Tex.
It's just the first, yeah. I call maybe myself that. I don't know. But I would just say, look, I just got Texas. I'm hoping to get the whole map on here. But since I started on my calf, I ran out of fucking room. So it's really for the United States, though. It is the Bennington Show. We got a big announcement, a once-in-a-lifetime Unmasked, and we'll be bringing that up in a couple minutes. But this one is so bizarre, I can't even believe it. When I heard about it, I don't know who booked this, the booking department?
Yeah.
I know it wasn't Chris, that's for sure. Chris is always like this. I could get Vito. I go, I'm not going to do an Unmasked with Vito. No, I'd be like this with Vito. So then in 2008, we went to see Van Halen. I did not know that David Lee Roth was with them in 2008. Has it been that long? Am I that crazy?
I can't imagine that. Because I remember that it might have been around that time when they announced that, but that seems so long ago.
I know. Time is fucking crazy. What are you reading, Wiki?
Yeah, Roth came back in 2006, so that's around the time that I went there.
Fucking nuts.
What happened to 10 years?
I thought he was doing radio in 2006. I know, in 10 years, what did they do? They played 18 shows and put out half an album. One of the albums just has no bass on it whatsoever. They said they didn't. They were hoping to put it in. They ran out of time. Put it out there.
Does it sound weird?
No worse than when Mike Anthony was with the band. Exactly the same, in my opinion. No, for any fucking true musician, I know. He's great. Bust them balls. Don't fucking take it personal. All right? Treat this like a little comedy 101 yourself. Hey, we had this idea for tomorrow when we figured out we didn't play Comedy 101 on Raw Diggity, and we have to break early tomorrow so we can go do this town hall. We play the Comedy 101. What am I getting here?
Just some information. That's all for a nice announcement.
That's a good idea.
Why is she wearing a nighty top with jeans? What gets into Coach? Coach, grab a mic. You dress inappropriate, all right? You dress inappropriate.
She dresses very comfortable.
I do. I'm lazy.
You know what? She dresses like they're going on a camping trip and they don't want to wake up the girls. So just pick them up in their jammies, put them in the back seat. By the time they wake up, we're going to be at Lake Placid.
Are you saying I dress like a soccer mom?
Oh, I'm saying you dress like an 8-year-old. If I was going to be totally honest.
8-year-olds are creative.
The first, they're creative if it counts dumb ideas as creativity. At no point did anyone ever said to an 8-year-old, "That's a fucking fantastic idea." Like when we tell 8-year-olds they're creative, we're lying to them. You know, making a seriously
Maybe
a
what we need
purple
to
fucking dragon doesn't mean shit to me.
Maybe what we mean to say is you're confident. You certainly are confident.
Well, you don't know enough to know how bad you stink at stuff. My fucking sister convinced me when I was like 4 that I was a great singer, and she would take me down to sing in front of my fucking family. Like she would teach me a song, and I would go down. And now I think, oh my god, my parents must have been cringing through it. Like this fucking blows. But she, you know, she was very positive towards me.
I think of all those kind of unnecessary self-confidence is when a kid is like, I'm a really good dancer. And then a kid will just like start like doing weird kind of breakdancing moves. Like they spend a lot of time on the floor, you know, like they're like kicking their legs out.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's good.
And they're thinking to themselves, this is fucking badass.
And what you want to say is, have you ever seen another person dance like that? Like, why would that be a good idea?
I've invented a new dance, the herky jerk jerk. Honky funky. Ow.
Ow.
Yeah, kids think they can dance. They think they're fucking good artists. They think they can sing.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do any of it.
They're shit. They're shit at everything.
Here's the one thing that they can do, and it just goes to show you that this is probably not an art form. They can act. They're good actors.
That's true.
But I think Fran Lebowitz says you'll never see a little kid write a novel.
Right. Which is why she was saying that acting is not really a good art form. But no, child can do it.
Think of how many people that we know that suddenly you're like, hey, that guy can act pretty good. How could that be that we would just know people now?
Right.
They're just like people that we know regularly, like Soda. Right. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm an actor. And I'm like, I believe him. I fucking believe that dude a lot.
It's not like somebody could just start sculpting and be like, I didn't know I had it in me.
This is a breakout year for Robert Kelly on his show, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. I watched the first 4 episodes. He's really fucking good at it. He's kind of, he's like the sweetheart of the whole show. And it's kind of, there's a sad thing with him as well. Like when people are acting bad, he looks sad about it.
Aww.
It's kind of like Vito with us. Like when we start to get cranky, Vito just sits there looking sad.
I just want everybody to be happy and get along.
I know, Vito, you're telling us that all the time.
It is sweet, though, that he feels that way.
Well, sometimes when we're having arguments, he pulls his shirts up and starts squeezing his titties to make us look. We're like, oh, Vito, you made us forget all about our anger.
And he's a good dancer, too.
He says he is, but I just see him act like he's... We got that fucking thing you do with the drop when you're waiting for the drop and you go crazy. Yeah, we got to do something like that on fucking Snapchat before we dump it forever and put ourselves where we really want to go. Pinterest.
Pinterest.
I heard David Copperfield say to Opie today, "I'm the number 4 most visited site on Pinterest."
Oh my god.
He was really proud of that.
I didn't even know celebrity Pinterests were a thing.
Oh,
That's why he's doing so well.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else for the Pinterest guys to go. It's just pictures of his island.
Yeah, I feel like I thought Pinterest is mostly like people's like wedding plans and stuff. And like,
I thought it was just like cupcakes that they like, but didn't necessarily eat.
That too.
Yeah.
Some guys will put up like a Corvette.
I like pictures.
No, the one that we're looking for is his island. I don't know the name of it. I think it's Cuba. He bought Cuba.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, he got it at a decent price, too. Because he's got to remodel it completely. I mean, he's got to knock down that fucking shit. You could probably knock down the houses in fucking Cuba using a hockey stick. Just go in there and just slap them and houses will go down. Everybody can play the big bad wolf there. So, yeah, that's his island. It's the 4th most visited place in Cuba. He was on the show on the phone. And he was pitching a movie that's been out for 2 weeks.
What?
I didn't fucking get it at all. I went over and read the post. I've never heard of this before.
It's a movie he's in?
No. He's producing it, which means, they throw him onto it. It's, Guess Who I Am Now.
Now you see me too.
Now I'm going somewhere else. I didn't really disappear, but you're going to think I did.
They have real magic in that movie.
Garrett in Kentucky.
Hello, Family Bennington.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you about some of the young comedians on America's Got Talent. I'm kind of torn. Do I laugh? Do I turn the channel? What's your thoughts on kids on like America's Got Talent?
I haven't seen it. So children go out and do stand-up?
Yeah, they'll have some like random 8-year-olds. There's like a 12-year-old girl that did a Trump joke that's getting really big right
because
now.
Their dad wrote the joke for her.
No, there was this dude, it's a teenager who was like in a really like awkward phase, and he goes out and he says something along the lines of, my dad helps me write my jokes and my mom helps me book gigs. And then the joke was, so I've accomplished a dream where, a girl that I used to sleep with works for me, and I have a Jewish writer, and it worked.
It did well?
No.
Because everyone thinks it's adorable that a kid is trying something. It's not the same as being real. That's an awful joke, by the way. That's a terrible fucking
joke. You probably delivered it better than me. I am doing this.
No,
I'm still
no, you delivered it perfectly.
I'm still confused.
I thought the delivery was the best part of that.
Why did they sleep with his mom? He slept with his mom?
They were very poor.
Well, what he's saying, when he was a baby, he would suckle on his mom's titties.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
She's so cute. Thank you.
Please stop it, Vito.
No, Vito.
Please. Don't make me move you off that fucking position. I'm so close to it with your computer skills. Let's just play some jokes from America's Got Talent kids.
We have Coach. She's doing all the jokes, and she's doing them better than those kids.
First of all, Coach is 8. All right, I'm going to announce and this is, and I'm not kidding when I say this, a once-in-a-lifetime chance to come here to SiriusXM and sit with this gentleman. He's probably one of, or if not the most important person in television history. We're doing an Unmasked, and this is hard for me to believe, with Norman Lear. Norman Lear. Now let's go through the shows that Norman Lear did. He did All in the Family, which was the breakthrough show. He did The Jeffersons. He did Maude. What else? What am I missing?
Sanford and Son.
By the way, I have never watched the opening of Sanford and Son and not laughed when Fred is just trying to carry this little tiny thing and Lamont takes it and throws it in the back of the truck and is just furious. I saw it when I was a little kid and it stayed with me. He wasn't trying hard enough to help. That's the part that made me laugh. All right, Sanford and Son, another gigantic show.
Good Times?
No, he did Good Times?
He did Good Times too, yeah.
Unmasked, Norman Lear. We're doing it here in the Fishbowl. He's 92 years old. So I guarantee you, this is your last time to see a Norman Lear Unmasked. You know, we won't be doing a follow-up. 92 years old, Norman Lear, Unmasked. And what's the date on this? It's Monday, July 11th at 3:30 p.m. here at SiriusXM Studios in New York City. Go to the Interrobang for a chance at free tickets. Chris, was this your booking or did it come from the booking department?
This was from the booking department.
But you are still working on Vito, right?
I'm looking at his dates, and I'm trying to just line up a good time for him to
Do
get
me
in
a
here.
favor. Do not let him bring a computer in with him.
Oh, no.
He'll just keep going into it. I'll just be talking, and he'll be like, look, here's a picture of it right here. By the way, I just found this out. Vito's number 5 on Pinterest. So out of the 7 people who use Pinterest.
Just below that Copperfield island.
I'm working on it. I live on an island, so I'm going to just put up some pictures of Manhattan, and I'm going to beat them.
I never even thought of that. Manhattan is an actual island. The island of Manhattan.
It's only an island if you look at it from the water.
Getting ready for Jaws, huh? Getting ready for Jaws. Jaws week. 4th of July. We are opening those fucking beaches. Chief Hooper drives the boat. Who fucking... What? Let him drive for a little bit. Let the other guy throw a chump.
Yeah.
Because at that second, fucking Jaws came up just biting a bunch of chump. Not snapping at it, Just letting it roll into his Jaws mouth. Any connection between Jabberjaws and Jaws, or is that that's
I
just
think
one
it's
of those
related.
things?
Probably developed by the same
I always
people.
thought it was his child. Any of you guys need any shock mouths? Chief, shock mouth for the kids. Here are the shows that this gentleman put on TV. All in the Family, Sanford and Son, One Day at a Time, The Jeffersons, Good Times, Maude, Mary Hartman. Now, One Day at a Time was the Mrs. Eddie Van Halen's TV show. That's how she broke into the business. And Jeff Garland used to do an impression of the lady from One Day at a Time. I forget what his name. I guess her name was One. I think that was it. But he would just act like he was looking into the mirror and go like this. I'm scared. Because she would be the first. She was the first TV mom who made it things like stuff wasn't working out.
Sure.
You know, one of the kids has been raped. I mean, I don't know how this was a comedy. The 70s was a darker time.
It was a sitcom with that type of...
Yeah, there was that type of thing.
This was the one with Mackenzie Phillips in it.
Mackenzie Phillips, and then, what's the other one's name?
Valerie Bertinelli?
No, that can't be it. It's Valerie Bertinelli.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then they had a lovely run there of just a very disturbed family that ran for a couple of years.
Peppered with laughs, I hope.
Yeah, well, the fucking super used to break into the house all the time. And he was funny.
You can't have every episode be a very special episode.
It was. Every episode was special. She's not eating.
I guess that's funny.
I guess she has irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh.
I'm scared. I don't have a man to take care of me. That was the big thing.
She's a single mom.
She was a
raising two
single
daughters.
mom with 2 growing daughters, and they had never shown this on TV before. Like, everything was just like, oh, you know, the Bradys, they're happy as fuck, you know? That's even in the song. Here's a story. They're happy as fuck. But then the Partridge Family mom was single, but she didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, her life was great.
Yeah, she had a family band.
She had a family band and to me, she was the front man. I'd say that to David Cassidy. I mean, I went for the mom.
All she had to worry about was booking dates. I mean, that's about it.
Well, she was a manager, but she was also in the band, Chris.
She was in the
First of all, why would she book dates if she had Reuben Kincaid, who fucking took their career all the way?
I fucked up again.
I would like this, like sometimes on the Partridge Family, they would show the band like playing in the studio, and Reuben Kincaid would be in the side with his arms just crossed and going like this. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
We
is
got it. We're finding our fucking Partridge sound, everybody. I'm co-managing the band with Danny right now. Danny Partridge. You know him as a future alcoholic. I think if you had a kid show now or you watch a show that is a kid show, you like, I wonder what age this kid goes off the rails, you know? What age do they just get fucking nuts?
Yeah, back when I had television, before I cut the cord, I'd watch this TV kids show called Dog with a Blog. And I know there was a little girl on that show that's gonna go fucking crazy, I feel.
Dude, I'm very uncomfortable that you're a single man.
so weird.
Watching something called Dog with a Blog, thinking about the child star.
The thing is, that dog never fucking blogged on this show. It was very little blogging.
Well, it can't. It's a dog.
No, but it does actually have a blog. At the end of every episode, it would blog. But not enough for me.
Ruff, 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 ruff. Woof, woof, woof.
It's a great concept.
Why are you watching a child show when you don't have a child?
I saw the name. It said Dog with a Blog. I was like, this looks ridiculous.
Are you attracted to the child?
No,
that you're talking
Jesus
about?
Christ, no!
I just
You know
need
what?
to ask.
Finally, somebody said what we were all thinking.
I mean, that's the only option.
No, I am not.
While you're sitting there glazing the screen.
No!
Oh my God.
I just looked it up.
And look, it's a very cute little girl and a cute There's no reason to think that little girl is going off the rails.
Her character on the show seems like she's going to go nuts later in life. It's just the feeling
You
I
are
get.
a creep to the
I'm not a creep 'cause I
10th
watch the
degree.
TV
You are a
show.
creep, dude. Anyway, before this got ruined and drugged back into his fucking
Mild
Uncle Ernie
pedophilia.
weirdness, yeah. Monday, July 11th at 3:30 p.m., Sirius XM Studios. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Norman Lear, unmasked. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
Can't even believe it. By the way, did he refuse to make TV shows in the 80s? Did he just say it's the 80s? Done?
This is not my time anymore.
He owns, I believe there's only 3 of them, but I think he owns an original. I don't want to get this one wrong. It's not the Constitution, but I think he owns the Declaration of Independence. He owns it.
What?
Yeah, they made 3 and he has 1. That's what I heard before.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I only know it because he lent it to Puff Daddy for 4th of July party. You know, when Puff Daddy used to do the Hamptons white parties.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yes, it sounds like the worst. Seriously, it sounds like something dangerous that you're doing with
And I'm not
national
just
history.
saying because it's Puff Daddy. I'm saying if anyone wanted
You
to
meant Puff Daddy.
No,
though.
I didn't.
I mean, I
Okay?
think you'd feel fine if it was David Hasselhoff. You're like, oh, okay, he'll return it.
Look, this is not a cool, not cool
Look,
poster.
wait. Chris has looked up something on Wikipedia,
Yep.
and now he's up to the mic to take credit for it.
He has 1 of 25 copies of the Declaration of Independence.
Why was there 25, man? I thought there was only 3.
It's something called a Dunlap broadside.
Well, I know that they were they actually made copies of them, and then they had like people ride out to read them.
Oh, okay,
Like
that makes
in
sense
different
now.
towns.
And one of those was Puff Daddy.
Do they all have to re-sign every copy?
Oh, yes, they did. Is that such a big deal? I mean, you do it when you buy a house.
But they had to re-sign all 25 of those guys?
What else are they doing? They didn't have anything else to do.
This is the most important thing they've ever
They
done in their
didn't have any
lives.
fucking... If you motherfuckers will sit all day and sign books or album covers. And you're like, oh, I could never be a founding father. There's too much fucking paperwork.
Those are some
least 25.
historically heavy hitters. That's a lot of time that they're wasting just signing papers.
They
on
weren't
them.
heavy hitters yet.
At the time, they were regular dudes.
They're just regular politicians.
So they weren't walking around there just getting like accosted every now and then, like, oh my God, Thomas Jefferson.
No. They weren't a band, a boy band. This is...
There wasn't paparazzi, dude.
Yeah, there was.
How?
The Gazettes.
Dude, you're not even fucking making sense. If they had a fucking page 6 back then, people are going, what do we care about? We can't even record music. There's no motion pictures. None of us are famous. Here's Otto in Boston.
This is kind of a difficult story for me to tell, but I was in 6th grade during what I like to call Partridge Family fever.
Okay.
And one of my friends, this girl, her mom made us red velvet vests to wear. And our 5th grade teacher would book us gigs in lower classes. So, like, we'd go into 3rd grade and 4th grade classes, put on the record, I Think I Love You, and then sort of lip sync along and act like the Partridge Family to this music.
You only did the one tune?
I was the drummer. We might have done 2 if we got a good reception.
Hopefully you would have done, I woke up in love this morning.
Yeah, that
I
was our
woke
second
up
one.
in love this morning. Went to sleep with you. There's that great scene in Crooklyn when they're doing when they're singing along with the Partridge Family. Dude, you were the weirdest 6th grader ever.
I was the drummer, so I was cool.
Yeah, because the cool kid on the fucking Partridge Family was the drummer. They had to switch out the Italian kid to a blonde. That's how little they cared about the audience in that day. They just made the Italian kid the blonde. Couldn't find another Italian kid? Little Ralph Macchio was running around in those days. He's back in Trump now. He's one of the hashtag Trump girls.
Machio is a Trump girl?
Oh yeah, loves it. I forget what is that hashtag all about? What is it called? It's it's something that they're trying to blow up on the internet.
Trump girls break the internet.
Trump girls break the internet. And are they supposed to be hot chicks?
Yeah, it's supposed to be hot Trump supporters.
Won't they just use his daughter?
That work out much better.
All right.
Okay.
There you got. I'm voting for Trump now.
Okay, I see the point.
I said 2 points. See what I'm saying there? Apples.
I see.
Stop looking, Chris.
I see.
Any more than just the one picture? All right, let's just go through whether we think they're, because this could be called Trump Girls Think They're Hot. All right.
Do you want to hump the Trump is what the question is.
We hump the Trump. Gotta hump that Trump. All right, so far, all hot.
Yeah.
Keep going. That's hot in a Pensacola type of way. You know what I mean?
Like-
That's spring break hot. That's Destin, Florida shit right there. Not so hot.
Yeah, too clothed.
Definitely not hot. Golfing hot. You know what I mean?
That's not even a real hot.
Yeah, that's not.
Golf hot?
Yeah.
No.
Was that trash hot? All right, we said, I think it's an acceptable, I don't know if David could say, oh, God. She's doing a wet t-shirt.
Yeah.
Daddy's going to win. Daddy's going to win. Daddy's going to win. Have we ever found anyone chanting that, or is this one of those things that Rod Stewart swallowed so much cum that they had to take him to the hospital?
I'm looking. I haven't found it yet, but I am looking.
See if you can find it in VR.
I will.
I want to feel like I'm there.
Yeah. I want to feel like I'm chanting Daddy's going to win with all the Trump hotties.
I think they really stacked this like at the top.
Yeah,
they
it's
did
better.
have like the first like couple chicks.
The
I
old
got
Swedish
it.
bikini team they had going.
Yeah. And then as you go down, then you get golf hot. It's not as good.
I'm definitely voting for Trump now because Vito said to me he's going to make America great again, and I'm like, okay, that's what I want. There's one. She's topless with her ace out. Trump. Not hot. Come on.
Skanky.
No, that's definitely not hot there. That's fucking sloppy
No.
tits bad.
Bad tan lines, too.
Yeah, everything about her. That's a fail. Is this on the internet? Then put epic fail. They'll know what I mean.
They'll get
definitely,
it.
yeah. They'll definitely get.
They just got wrecked. R-E-K-T.
Yes, we saw that you put that up on the iBank.
It's the new pwned and fail.
I don't know how new it is. That new?
You know? It's about as new as a dog in his blog. You sick fuck. And then what was the shitty show that you and Dave used to, and you followed it on, there was some little girl online.
Oh, Boxy.
Oh, you're uncomfortable.
That was
Boxy
a
was
long time ago.
Yeah, but
3 years ago.
Were you over the age of 18?
Yes, I was.
Okay, then it's uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable is a kind way to put
I'm
it.
Boxy.
Don't get him started. He's going to get so excited by that. Do me a favor. All right, Norman Lear is coming Monday, July 11th, 3:30. I want you to take off the Friday before until the Friday after.
Really?
I don't want you to be seen here, Boxy. Who are you, the Boxy Gandhis? And Terabang.com for tickets. It is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That's it.
This is the coolest.
We'll never do another, that's for sure.
Oh, that's what I'm
92.
save that.
What's he got? A book, a movie, a video?
There's a documentary coming out.
About what?
About him, Norman Lear.
That's weird, right?
You'll have to watch that before you
Now,
talk to him.
Chris, you put a story up on the iBank today about Buddhists.
Yes.
How do you feel that this is a new story?
It's that there are fake Buddhists ripping people off here in New York City. So then the Buddhists, leaders in New York City, said, listen, everyone, stop giving money to fake Buddhists.
These guys, they walk around in the orange fucking robes.
Yep.
This has been going on for at least fucking 8 years.
But finally, the Buddhists are coming out and saying, stop giving them money. I don't know why they've waited so long.
They said it from the beginning. They said this, we are not. They just get the tourists and they walk up to you, and I always fucking say to them, I'm not a rube, dude. I'm fucking with it. I live here. Move along, grab someone from Oklahoma, let on that you're a nice Buddhist monk.
I had one of these fake monks come up to me, not even in Times Square. It was like
Yeah.
in Brooklyn. It's like on a regular
Yeah, they're all
street.
over. Yeah, because they use the subway system like rats.
Like Spider-Man.
One came up to me, you know what he said? Got a lighter? I go, look, I'm not fucking giving a light to a fake Buddhist, all right? But I will give you this. The fucking robe looks nice and comfortable.
It does look comfortable.
I saw a priest or a monk, something, but it was definitely more of a Christian. And he was wearing one of those with a sport jacket. I'm like, that's a fucking good look, you know?
So he had his robes on and then
his robes on and a sport jacket over it. You
I've
know?
never seen that.
No, I only saw it once. And I went fucking crazy for him.
What do they do for
Money?
like church sanctioned winter wear? Like, do they have like a coat?
Yeah, they wear North Face. North Face makes a nice priest robe.
It's Gore-Tex.
Yeah, you can climb in it. You can do anything you want. Justin Timberlake had to walk back a tweet after he got a backlash. And the thing that he said wrong was, we're all the same. There's no difference between all of us. And people got mad at him for that.
Yeah, he initially made some comment where he said he was making some reference to somebody who had made a speech.
Somebody had made a speech on the BET Awards.
Right.
Saying black people got a problem in this country.
It was
Jesse
Williams
from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, so he was like, oh, Jesse Williams, though. And people started to respond to that and say that's cultural appropriation. And then he said, we're all the same. And then they were like, that's the worst thing you can say.
It is. What he should have said, blacks are better than whites. And because white people aren't going to care about it. They're like, whatever.
All he tweeted was hashtag inspired. And the guy's...
He did cross the line. He did cross the line. He should keep his white fucking mouth shut.
It's cultural appropriation to be inspired by somebody else's speech.
But I saw in the Daily News today, and it was, during David Copperfield, that they're mad at one of the, I'm going to say it's Selena Gomez, but it could have been any of those young girls. She wore something in her hair that they said she didn't have a right to wear because it's cultural appropriation.
That thing really bothers me, particularly any of the hair related ones, because most of them involve hair. Yeah. And it was a lot of them because like girls were wearing cornrows.
Right.
White girls were wearing cornrows. White girls were doing like these like faux afro looks, and they were saying you can't do that. I don't see how that makes any fucking sense. First of all, it would be crazy. It would be crazy to tell anybody how to express themselves in whatever kind of style they wanted. But nobody would ever say, don't straighten your hair, don't dye your hair blonde. That's crazy.
No one ever says don't wear pants because white people didn't have pants. I mean, everybody was ass out until white people came along. I was like, what are you? Is that your skin? No. Pants.
Yeah. It covers the genital area.
Yeah, the
and
genitals.
Most of the legs.
Yeah. My knees now, none of that is a problem. But, no one ever said to Johnny Carson, how dare you put on a Nehru jacket, sir? You're not Indian. Like, there was a thing during the 60s, you put on a Nehru jacket. But you did it for style, not because you were trying to be Indian.
Yeah.
I never saw Johnny Carson go, you would never do it. Black people should, if you see something that you like, with someone from Sweden, start rocking that look.
Yeah, please do.
Some white dude sees a Puerto Rican just doing the one button at the top and everything down. You're like, oh, that's fucking cool. I'm just going to put one button at the top of my thing and let it fly.
Or why can't you do what you've always done, which is as soon as you see white people doing it, be like, I guess that's not cool now and move on to something else
blows.
Rather than get upset about it.
I got yelled at one time for that. One of my friends, she's really offended by cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
And I was taking, at the time, I was in Purchase and I was taking a belly dancing class just to fill in some space. And she got mad at me because it was so ridiculous. I bought like an evil eye, like bracelet that looked like this. And she yelled at me on the street because she said that I wasn't, I was being offensive, and I'm like,
who owns the evil eye?
I had it.
But who goes to that? What culture
no, it's
is that
like
from?
It's like I think
Wiccan
it's an Indian thing where it's like they wear it for like protection or something like that. I'm like,
oh, I like to get a little
protection.
protection.
To us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's That's crazy. Why would you want to live in a world where nobody was allowed to share?
Even
their
in ancient times, we had free trade. Some people are like, I got some Chinese cloth.
Yeah.
You know? This is great. I get China. But it's the same way. You're like, walking over to somebody, what are you doing eating spaghetti, you white son of a bitch? That is not for you. I can't have sushi? Is that cultural?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we want to do.
I think it's a really dangerous thing to say that people can't share each other's culture. Why would you fucking want that? That's
Right.
really weird.
Well, that's weird because that's Greek too. The Greek people wear the mati, and that's like the eye that they wear on them too. So it's like that's just shared above
like
different
not-
cultures.
I wear the fucking eye of the tiger,
Yeah,
you know?
he does.
I wear an eye of the tiger because it keeps me real safe.
Cool.
I like to cultural appropriate. I don't get that thing. First of all, white people have been dressing like black people since at least the jazz age.
Yeah, as soon as we met.
I even have a
Like,
feeling
what are you wearing? That's good.
that's fucking a cool zoot suit. I'm gonna get
I
one.
fucking like that
Yeah.
a lot.
I even think in the 1800s, like young Southern teens would just dress like slaves, and their father would be like, "What are you doing dressing like that?" The kid's like, "It's cool. Everybody's doing it at school now." It's insane, though. I mean, there's actual things to be pissed off about in the world. You don't have to make up shit. Only my people should eat eggs. I don't know if that's true, sir. I'm sorry, we decided not to sell this to you because you're of the wrong culture.
Yeah, and everyone has been appropriating Native American culture as soon as we showed up. This is like turquoise and fringe and all that kind of
How
shit.
many days do you ever see me coming in a headdress? I'll just come in here,
Constantly.
long headdress, I'm smoking a fucking peace pipe.
All the time.
And it's
Because
a good
I
look.
dig the look.
And it's good. It's
And I
good
understand it has something to do with religion, but I don't get into that part of it.
look. This is style. This is fashion. It's all that matters.
I went to a thing one day where they actually did an Indian ceremony, and I'm like, it's not really. There's no Indians here. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't sit around doing this smoke thing and then act like we just did an Indian. That'd be like me, or it would actually be like some Eskimos acting like they were doing a Catholic communion. Here's a cracker. You're like, you're not making it right.
That's not how you do it.
You're not ready for this. Yeah, I mean, musically, we all appropriate each other's fucking music. That's the whole point of living on this planet.
And you brought up food. We've always wanted to share culturally our food. We want to check out other people's.
You know what I think is funny is like the guys came back from World War II and kept eating chop suey.
Yeah.
And tiki bars. They just tried to come back to the States. They're like, I found the fucking best bar ever when I was over in the Philippines. We tiki bar this shit up. It's the funniest thing in the world. You go into a tiki bar now, it's a 70-year-old concept that GI's ripped off. And it's still the nuttiest thing ever. Here, eat out of this scary bowl, and here's a big scary cup for you with a lot of rum and juices in it. Nothing nuttier.
It's fun, though, when you get a giant bowl and it's on fire, filled with booze.
Now, now people will do this. If you start to get into like Nazi German stuff, people are like, no, that's one culture we don't want you to appropriate. It isn't even the Nazis. The Nazis are like, go ahead, do it. Do it. Keep going with this. This is great. Here's a Luga. But it's then the other people are like, hey, we don't want you to appropriate that culture. Germany is talking about forming a super state now. They're getting rid of the countries that they had and forming a super state. I brought this up on Opie today. Why was my dad in World War II now? What was that whole fucking thing about? Poland, you sons of bitches. You said you didn't want to be with... It's like if you fucking stop a guy from hitting a girl and then later you see her making out with him. You're like, then what the fuck,
Then
dude?
why did I show up?
Why am I... You can't be safe.
Yeah, Germany and France all had this like secret plan and then just got exposed. Now they're going to a bunch of the Slavic states and saying, look, Let's just all get together. Let's just all be one giant superstate in Europe.
Junior in Detroit.
Hey, I'd always heard that the Zoot suit was a American-Mexican thing out west, out in California, and they were disenfranchised.
Well, they did have the Zoot suit riots out there, right?
Yeah, that was on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
But they did it because it was like during World War II where they were skirts were getting shorter and they took cuffs off of pants to save clothing and material.
Look, let's face it. The fucking Mexicans have always enjoyed baggy clothing. They love it.
Put on these giant suits to show their disdain for the American government.
Dude, I don't. Even whether you're right or wrong, I'm sending you into the pretty good prize closet. You belong in the pretty good prize closet.
It's pretty good price.
Oh God!
It's pretty good price. Prize closet. We got pretty good prizes. It's pretty good price. It's pretty good price. Prize closet. We have good prizes. Junior in Detroit, you win a signed copy of The Phantom of the Opera signed by Miss Emmy Rossum.
Whoa.
Beautiful, talented Emmy Rossum.
So strange prize. So there you go, Zoot suit. Enjoy yourself. Put it under your baggy fucking suit. Have the time of your life. Thanks for the history lesson. So Mexican Americans came up with Zoot suits. But then if you watch Monka Max, they were all wearing those fuking suits and the way they were walking, it was great. It was one of my favorite scenes ever.
That was the best fucking era of that movie.
I would like to culturally appropriate. Now I'm saying it as a positive. You know what I want to culturally appropriate? Those Mexican pointy boots. Have you seen those? Those like curled up.
No, those are Iranian.
No, this is in Mexico. They have these. It's like a fad, and in rural Mexico. And they have these boots that are really, really long and pointy, and then they do like a special dance in them.
Holy shit, I've never seen these before.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And I used to work with a guy who like owned a pair of them. Like he came from a town where they were popular. I'm like, we were trying to figure out like, but is it cool? Like, are you saying that you guys think it's cool? And he's like, yeah, all the young guys wear it. I'm like, so it's not a funny thing. And he's like, no, like we wear it. We do a special dance with them. People like compare who's got the longer pointy boots.
I would pay people not to wear those boots. I would come in and say the government will reimburse you to take those boots off.
But click a picture where you can see like full scale, like the way somebody looks just like standing with them. They're insane.
I've never seen this before. We got to get that up on the Twitter because it's fucking the nuttiest thing I've ever seen.
Like skis.
Yeah.
Forward ski.
And like
you can't walk in them, obviously.
And you see, these are like a couple young guns. It's not like a silly thing to them. They think it's really cool. I'm not sure why, but I do know that they have like, not contests, but like gatherings where they're all wearing them and they do like a special pointy boot dance.
All right, this is our buddy Lois in Manhattan. Hey, Lois.
Hey, what's up, guys? Before I say what I have to say, I just want to say that my favorite Tom and Jerry cartoon is the one where Tom gets the Zoot suit.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say was there was an article. They explained why Black Twitter got so mad with Justin Timberlake. It wasn't so much of his tweet. It was because his beef with Janet Jackson and Prince, who they were doing a tribute for at the BET Awards. Janet Jackson was with the titty thing. And with Prince said something a while back where he said it was when Justin Timberlake did the Sexy Back song. He's like, Sexy Never Left.
Yeah.
So when Justin Timberlake did a song with Timberland and Nelly Furtado, he dissed both of them in the song. And that's the main reason why they went after him.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
See, I thought Black America loved Justin Timberlake.
Oh, no. They don't like him for that Janet Jackson thing. And like I said, the big, I didn't even know he had a beef with Prince until I read that article, but there's definitely a beef between them.
All right, well, the thing with Janet Jackson is he pulled her tit out, and then she got in trouble for it.
Yeah, and he let her take the rap.
Yeah, and then he went on to have a wonderful career.
Yeah, their thing is that, okay, if you want to so-called copy black music, because I don't really think you're copying black music. I think music is music, period. Mm-hmm. But, from their point of view, they feel like if you're copying it, then you also have to stand up with black people when we go through struggles. It's the real issue.
Well, you do have the president, though, so, I mean, I don't know what more we could possibly do. We gave you the president.
This good? This make up
thought it was over. That was great. But I do believe there is cultural music.
Yeah, I mean, it starts somewhere, but at the same time, I mean, it's meant for everybody to enjoy it, get
absolutely
do their own thing.
And then people can pick up on it.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, there is music that comes from certain places, and really, has there been a musical movement in this country that wasn't started by black people? It's blues, jazz, R&B, rock and roll, and then hip hop. I mean, every one of those started in black communities. Now,
what about country, though? I think
country they say comes from Scotland. Right. Country would be the one place that you say, okay, black people had nothing to do with, other than Charlie Pride, and he just came in and dominated when he sang country.
Was bluegrass?
Bluegrass is also like Scottish and Irish music,
but it never had a big movement.
No one ever liked it. Even the people playing it, you see them like, ugh, fucking hate this shit. It's so annoying. It's like we're trying to bother people. I don't think I've. All right. So we'll say the gigantic push came off of that, but jazz has its roots in black music. It's pretty kind of crazy when you think about it. But what also is interesting is how fast black people drop it. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to see an old blues guy, if you go to see Albert King, filled with white people. Filled. But, you know what I mean? Like, and the same thing happens with jazz. I think you'll get to the point with hip-hop that it will only be like young white kids going back to see hip-hop guys from the 90s.
We usually drop it. Like, I got pissed off when Michael Jackson died, and then they did the BET Awards, and Jamie Foxx was like, he was ours, and I'm like, no, you all used to call him a rapist. You said he was raping kids. You made all these jokes. Same thing with Prince. I mean,
Prince that got mocked out by the black community constantly.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson's biggest fans were from like Europe and other parts of the world. Like, Black America then dumped him.
Yeah, it's true, and I think it's because there's no written history for black people. I think they like to move forward all the time.
It's true.
All right, my friend. Good to talk to you.
Same
You're the best. Peace.
Bye.
Dave in Columbus.
Hey, got a spy report.
Spy report.
ESPN just reported longtime coach Buddy Ryan has just passed away in Kentucky.
Well, maybe ESPN reported it now. I reported it on the Opie show. I'm going to say 7.5 hours ago. And I'd be fairly close that I'm right. So, yeah, Buddy Ryan did pass away. He's been sick for a long time, though. Cancer. Cancer.
He was beloved, though.
He was beloved by white people. Mm-hmm. White people were crazy about him. That would be like a fun show to do. Like, we bring up a name, and you have to tell us if they had more white or black fans. And then we have white and black people as contestants on the show. And then we find out who at home are more white. Because, like, if I watch Family Feud every day, I'm always rooting for the black family.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
They're more demonstrative,
And they're just like, there's something very uptight usually about the white families. Like, they don't quite seem comfortable.
I hate the way they say good answer for each other when they know it's not going to fucking hit.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah. And you're just like, why don't you just say to your brother, what are you fucking thinking, dude? How could you say something so stupid? Wouldn't that be better TV? What is wrong with you, Kenny?
He just shoves him.
Fuck! You ruined our chance to get $5,000. I'd split it between the five of us.
Before taxes.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can come up with who has more white fans or black fans.
Okay.
Martin Luther King.
Black fan.
I don't think so anymore. I think he's moved over to white Americans celebrate him.
We've culturally appropriated him.
Yeah. Michael Jordan.
White.
No.
I think white.
White, I would say.
Yeah.
Say black.
No.
I'm going to go black because white people still really like to yell about Larry Bird every chance they get. So I think that takes
He didn't even really play against Jordan. They weren't at their peaks at the same time.
No, it's
now,
white.
if you said Magic Johnson, yes, people did say, "Oh, Larry Bird's better than Magic Johnson." We lied. He almost jumped once. I was at a fucking game, and it looked like he started to jump, but he skidded, but it seemed like a jump. They're like, "Well, he's got a great set shot. He has to. When you don't jump, that's the only shot left." All right, I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to say the Supremes. Diana Ross and her Supremes.
I will say white.
White people.
I would think black.
Started with black.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they got out, white people went, this is ours. We love this music. Motown music, beloved by white people. You ever sit around and see black people dancing to Motown music? No. People throw Motown parties today in the white community. Now, here's one for you. Peter Frampton.
He's got soul, black.
That's one that eventually made white people cringe.
We're like,
Yeah.
is there anyone else we can give this to?
Bill Cosby.
Black.
Ooh,
Yeah, black.
To this
Back
day.
to black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to white, back to black. Just like what happened to OJ.
Mm-hmm.
He was black, moved over to the white thing, back to black people. Black people are much more loyal when it comes to that. You'll never see them say, sorry, dude, you fucking went over there, now you can't come back here. They're like, come on back.
Welcome.
You got fucked, didn't you? You got fucked over. Know what's going to happen. You know? You had to go over there. Chris Stanley.
White.
I don't even think white.
I think I have a lot more black people.
You're
like me.
insane.
Other.
There's no way.
They love me.
No. There's no way.
How many white people are there that black people like? I thought Justin Timberlake and Daryl Hall were the only two that I could say for sure. And what's always interesting, a lot of white quarterbacks are liked by black people.
They love Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you. Aaron Rodgers can go anywhere in this country and be beloved.
It's just a fact.
All right, Messi.
Shit. It's white people.
Yeah.
White.
Because the Argentinians turned on him.
Yeah. They pushed him out.
The Argentinians consider themselves white.
Oh God, yes.
Really?
So arrogant. They came out one time like, you Latinos, and they didn't consider themselves part of it.
I know people from there.
Freaking
They're the same way.
America.
They literally said to me, we're white. And I go, that's not up for you to decide.
We're going to have a vote. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be in favor of you being white.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Earl used to say, I want to say this correctly, but didn't he say can come to the barbecue if there were...
That was white people invited to the cookout.
To the cookout.
Yeah.
And who would they be?
Well, I thought JT was on that list.
I'm gonna trust Lewis over all else.
No, I agree, but
Is Bieber on that list? I feel like he has a lot of black fans.
Come on.
Just ask him. Throwing it out there.
I know they like Adele.
Really?
They do?
Yeah.
She's invited to the cookout?
Well, all right, I'm gonna come up with another name. What about the Bee Gees? Did they work for them?
Yeah.
During the whole night fever time.
100. Yeah, definitely.
I think they were into it.
I mean, those guys are from Australia.
I remember when the white people invited to the cookout thing came out, a lot of people were saying that little white girl who used to dance for Missy Elliott was invited.
Yeah,
There she is.
She's fucking great.
Bernie Sanders invited to the cookout.
That shocks me.
I don't believe that because they're all voting for Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary's
now,
invited.
Bill and Hillary, or Billary, they can go, but no black people voted for Bernie Sanders.
Really?
Not one.
I think Biden is invited to the cookout.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I brought up Biden today. Opie, everyone in the show, they love him. They love Biden. He was like a joke for 7 years in this country. And now Vic Henley's like, yeah, everybody like Biden.
Really?
Yeah, Vic Henley, by the way, voted to the cookout.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And probably would actually even go over to the grill and start cooking, you know? And they're like, look at Vic, let him go. He's going to come back with something nice. That is the funny thing is like when you're down south is those kind of like soul food and barbecue are almost the same fucking thing. You know? It's just, you could call it whatever you want, but it's that Southern cooking. They all like the same food there.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I would like to do a chicken and waffles day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Is that the best goddamn dinner America has?
We should do a good, like, a Bennington show dinner in Harlem, maybe.
Yeah, I'd love to. There's so many great restaurants in Harlem right now. Actually, some of the best restaurants in New York, like some of the hottest restaurants in New York are uptown. Can we break it all today, Chris, or you don't want to?
We have not broken yet. We could break.
Norman Lear is the next Unmasked. And go over to the iBang to see that. Also, when we get back, I'm going to talk about the Liz Mealy shots up on the iBang. Phil does this, my favorite columns on the iBang, where he just follows comics around, takes pictures to them. I don't know why. It's just great. It's fantastic. So go over for Norman Lear. Your chance to be sitting there with really one of the few icons of television. We'll be right back. This is Bennington. Rejoinder song. Song. Rejoinder song. It's not too long. Rejoinder song. This song makes me feel like we could do anything. We were just down looking at a little bit of the Blink 182.
Minus Tom.
No Tom.
No Tom.
I like the new guy better, though.
Do you?
Yeah. I think the new guy has brought a sense of fun to the band that they've lacked for quite some time. Hey, we're going over the lovely gift basket that we had given to us.
This is so awesome. All this great stuff sent to us by Banana Peel, Sarah, on Twitter.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
I don't know whether to call her Sarah or Banana Peel. I feel crazy right now.
I feel like I used to call her Banana Peel.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's weird. Now I know she's Sarah.
I don't know whether to write a song. We can bring that music down. Doesn't have to stay like that. Chris, I never expected you to be slow in the trigger.
I just got some more stuff in the mail, actually.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about another thing right now. You know, we'll never get to a point where I go, I want you to interrupt me, my train of thought. But anyway, I'm going to stay calling her Banana Peel, because if I call her Sarah, then I'll just be thinking of the song Sarah Smile. And I don't want, you know, and I feel like she's leaving.
Or maybe just think Banana Peel to the tune of Sarah Smile.
I don't know if I could even pull that off.
I know, it's difficult.
Banana. No, I can't do it.
Forget it.
No, I'm not going to do it. But Blink 182 they're down for a town hall, and they said the late 90s will always live in our hearts. And they'll always be there for us.
Me too. Me too, Blink.
I don't know which, Vito was telling me that Tom left the band because he believes in conspiracies.
Yeah, he bounced on out because he wanted to leave for his own safety because he thinks the government is out to get us all. And he also believes in aliens and all of that stuff.
I believe in everything that he does.
Damn. I had no idea that's what drove Tom away.
I think the aliens are the ones who started the Zika virus. That those are small alien spaceships.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do that to us?
My Zika's been acting up lately, too.
You have it?
Terrible, yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm always internal bleeding. Like, you think it's something else. No, it's definitely the Zika virus.
Oh, Christ.
Returning song. I'm not going to plug Norman Lear again, but I'm excited about it.
But if you were to plug it again, where would people go?
Well, they go to the Interrobang, definitely. That's the main place they would go right now. Interrobang. Do you consider what happened with Tom a kind of a celebrity fall from grace, or did he just do the smart thing?
I think that it was, because maybe they weren't on top at that point. Like, I think a fall from grace, you have to kind of be at your peak.
I see.
Unless, of course, it's a massive story. For example, like an O.J. Simpson situation, where it's like he was a massive star. And I don't think there was a bigger scandal.
People don't realize this. He wasn't a massive star at that time.
Right, but he was at one time, right?
Yeah, he was at one time. But, obviously he was 14 years after his thing. It's almost like from a celebrity point of view, best thing that he ever did was kill Nicole and the waiter. That really got him back into the public eye again.
Yeah, people haven't stopped talking about him.
His 30 for 30 was 5 parts. That's fucking big.
I'm only on part 3.
I went right to part 5. I don't care about him beating
Don't tell me what happened.
I don't care about him beating Notre Dame every year of his life.
Let's get to the meat of the story.
Yeah. Let's get to the point where he actually did kill Nicole. He got fucking crazy after that, too. He started being nuts down in Florida.
Yeah, he got really weird.
Yeah. He fucking started acting like that he should have been running Death Row Records. That's exactly the way he was acting.
But do you think that that's like the biggest fall from grace type story of any celebrity?
I don't know. It's an interesting question. Because one of the first names that went to my mind, this isn't just celebrity, but Richard Nixon being forced out of the White House is just
right.
How can you get bigger than that?
I think the Cosby story's got to be up there of biggest of all time. Even though,
and again, Cosby wasn't at his peak when it happened. They waited until he got weak, blind, then they went after him.
Needed a cane.
Yeah.
I think Randy Quaid's fall from grace was particularly bizarre and weird, where he just goes on the run and hides out in Canada.
Yeah, that's mental illness too, though. That, like anyone, I could never sit around doing Randy Quaid jokes because it's sad. Where Bill Cosby, I feel like that was kind of a different kind of crazy.
And plus, I've always loved Dennis, so I don't want to fall out with him.
Wait, so you love Dennis?
I love Dennis.
Randy is my favorite Quaid.
I've always had a crush on Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
It's weird.
I think it could be like Wilder Napalm or like what was that, Inner Space? I don't know. I was very young when those came out.
Yeah,
he was very
right, I got
attractive to me.
He proved his great acting in Inner Space. There's no doubt about that.
And The Rookie. He was looking good in The Rookie.
Oh, God. This show every day gets drawn into the fucking furthest fucking place from cool it could possibly get. We're now Dennis Quaid, the fucking dum-dum, and the movie The Rookie.
Britney Spears had a pretty spectacular fall from grace, even though she turned it around.
I will. Yeah, you almost can't call it that because it was like it was a stumble.
Stumble from grace. And the same thing happened with Iron Man. That dude, when he was at his lowest, he had crawled in some kid's fucking airplane bed, all fucking whacked out.
That shit crazy.
Yeah. And now he's the highest paid movie star in the world. Well, him and it looks like Gail's new deal. That's the two that are being discussed the most. Hold out for some of that Iron Man money. I understand Iron Man's making a lot more than me, and that's fucking freaking me out right now.
Yeah. Seems sexist.
Yeah, it is. Everyone should get paid the Iron Man talent, no matter how big your part is.
I like Iron Man money as like just a type of money. I'm trying to make that Iron Man money right now.
I'm definitely going to make some of that Iron Man money. So you got to check out the, I think adorably cute, but very, very talented Liz Mealy up on she's doing one of those Scotland tours where she's doing 29 straight nights in a theater there, part of that big comedy festival.
Edinburgh.
That's too many nights, though. Like, I don't mind coming to your town, but at 29 straight shows, I live there.
Can I take a nap? Like, just a little break?
Go home?
there any Airbnbs around here?
Don't leave the theater. This is what we're paying you
Have
for.
you ever done an Airbnb?
I did one for a bachelor party last year. Yeah.
How'd it work out?
It was great. It was a giant house up near Woodstock. It was an awesome house.
I'm going to do some for a little bit of the vacation, not all the vacation.
Nice.
I don't know.
I think you're going to like it.
All right. If you feel that way.
I honestly do feel that way.
I feel like it's an Uber house. If I'm going to be totally honest here.
It kind of is.
Uber
but
me a house for a little bit.
You'll like it.
Hey, what's up, Ryan? What do you say, buddy?
What's going on, buddies? I got Jessica Simpson in the mid-2000s. She was the sexiest girl on the planet, and then 6 years later, she's the spokeswoman for, some weight loss type stuff because she, put on the pounds. So that's all I got.
Well, she had, first of all, let's go through it. She has 2 babies, so that's why she put on the pounds. But 2, she also has a close to $1 billion clothing line of her own company.
Yeah.
She is an American success story.
She didn't fall from grace. She just stepped out of the spotlight. She just went behind the scenes, but she did not fall from grace.
Look, no one can, it's not easy. It's very few people can maintain that pop star status for more than a couple years.
Not only that, but if you look back at the charts, she wasn't even a pop star. Her songs were never big hits the way Britney and ex-Tina were. You know what I mean? Then she went from a lower, a poor man's Britney to being one of the first reality stars.
Yeah.
Had a big breakup, remarried, kids. But the clothing line, and I don't think it's nice, it's not like a high-end deal that she's doing. She's on top of the fucking world.
I don't think it's a fall from grace.
Chris, what's the story in the ice cream and John and Kelly?
They're coming down right now, and the ice cream was just brought up from the mailroom.
So the ice cream is too cold for us to enjoy?
It's pretty rock solid.
That's
frozen.
what happens when you ship ice cream.
Yeah.
Do not even, move that, yeah. Although those caramel puffs have got me very interested.
I know.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
There's like some beautiful pear butter and peach jam too.
I think
nice
Banana
coffee.
Peel has moved herself into number 1 listener.
I mean, it's a beautiful spread.
Tom, what's up?
Yeah, hey, Shia LaBeouf is a big fall from grace. Remember he was the cute kid in the robot movie with the swear words?
Yeah, he's another kind of insane person, though. Like, I know everyone likes to make fun of him, but I think this guy really needs to go into a nut hut.
I actually feel bad for the dude. Like, anytime I see people picking on Shia LaBeouf, I kind of feel
Stanley
bad.
does it all the time.
I feel bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? He did it to himself.
Mike, Chicago, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tiger Woods or maybe Lance Armstrong.
Oh, these are perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Lance Armstrong is probably worse because Lance Armstrong fucked over the sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the whole stuff with, Tiger Woods was having affairs. I'm like, that's none of my business. That's
right.
between Tiger and his tigress.
This is.
I mean, she knows she married Tiger Woods. And then the other thing about Tiger is, how do you fucking get hurt and can't play golf? It doesn't even make sense to me.
Apparently his body's totally falling apart. He can't do shit.
From golfing?
From golfing.
How?
I don't know. They say he's a bad back and a bad knee. I think it's all bullshit. I don't think it's a mind game.
All right,
Just
you're
relax,
really
dude.
angry at Tiger Woods for reasons unknown.
You need to calm the fuck down, dude.
Tiger thinks it's got to be worked up.
I know. It shouldn't. I mean, this has zero to do with any of our
and
lives.
also, why are you always calling people out on lies? Like, you're just like, I think he's fucking lying.
You're the biggest fucking liar I've ever met.
This isn't about me right now.
No. I would say no because look at him now. He's a high-flying bird.
On top of things.
Yeah. So, no. I don't know how we even got into this conversation. I hope it didn't have anything to do with Blink-182, but no, I think that it did.
I think it was Tom DeLonge.
Paula Dean had a pretty bad fall from grace.
That's a good one. Because she used...
That was rough.
Yeah. A word that makes us all throw up.
I feel nauseous even thinking about it.
You feel nauseous because your body craves alcohol.
Pete Rose a fall from grace?
Pete Rose is a giant fall from grace. You know what? Don't ask. Say it. Have some confidence in yourself.
Pete Rose is correct.
Pete Rose, the hit king. Although now they're trying to give it to the Japanese guy because he had 1,400 hits in a Japanese league. Well, that doesn't fucking count. Let Pete put his fucking wiffle ball stats up there.
Payne's going to go to an arena football league, start to pad those stats a little bit more. This makes no sense.
Arena football is not going to get you many base hits, Chris.
That was just an analogy from football to baseball.
No, there isn't one. There isn't a arena football league for baseball. Are you thinking the minors like AAA, AA? Because that would have made a lot more sense than saying the arena football league. Forrest, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds.
I never even liked him that much when he hit 70, if I'm going to be totally honest here. He was never on my radar. Look what it is. There's a lot of screaming that goes on. When Vito's in that room, there's no screaming.
No one gets yelled
when
at.
you're screaming over there. Hard Right Johnny, what's up, buddy?
How about fall from grace in the political world? What about like a John Edwards or Anthony Weiner? Those were some uprising stars.
Yeah, Anthony Weiner was like, everybody was saying like, oh, this is our guy. He's going to be our next mayor. And then what?
I don't believe that for a second. I think he also got famous from the dick pic. I don't think I ever heard of the fucker.
Yeah,
before
he
the
was
dick pic.
he was all over the place, and he was like really being looked at because he was such a good speaker.
I never thought that.
He got popular on. He had some viral hit because something he did on C-SPAN got a bunch of hits because of 9/11. Like he was like fighting so that.
Was he for it or against it?
He was against it.
He was pro 9/11.
He wanted the first responders to get benefits.
It's terrible. And I have one more, if I may. How about Mel Gibson?
Fall from grace.
That was a
gigantic fall from grace.
And has not recovered.
No.
And
not
will
even
never,
close.
probably.
What about Winona Ryder? Fall from grace.
Yeah, that was a fall from grace, and it changed her career and the way she was looked at.
She stole a handbag, glad rag and a handbag. Nobody got off her. She just came out on the side of Johnny Depp saying, look, when I dated him 25 years ago, he never fucked around. But she also said, I was only 15 at the time. Seems like a little weird now. Hey, guys, what's happening?
Hey.
Back in the big city.
Nice to meet
Love you on the show.
Hey. Hi.
Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Bad news, we don't have Hanson here today.
We were just talking about that. We saw we clocked Zito in the hot lab. I was like, that's the guy that he photobombed her picture with.
Yeah,
just in the back.
Yeah. They flew in because they went to hang out with Hanson. This is a couple years ago, right?
It's been 4, maybe 5 years ago. Yeah.
And now it's Blake 182. It doesn't mean as much to you. It does.
Well, I mean, when you're a Hanson fan, they don't really blend.
They don't blend with anybody else. Just Hanson and Hanson alone. What's your favorite Hanson song all time?
Penny and Me. They played it here.
Yeah.
When they were here.
Actually, yeah, we were just over with friends last night, the night before, and we were playing. I have some of the recordings on my phone from.
Oh, you do?
Because you guys put them up on SoundCloud, so I borrowed them, and then.
Well, here's the deal. Chris fucked up the sound that they remember.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have the video, so I'm here videoing. They're in the back corner, and he screams out there. So one of the engineers, because I guess the audio wasn't going out, right?
Yeah. What happened that day?
There was something wasn't set right correctly between the board they brought in, the engineers did, and the board that I was using.
And what song was that? It was a great fucking.
It was the song where they had the video
Think
for.
About Something?
That's it.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
That song was really good.
That song was badass.
You sang it the entire rest of the show.
Yeah. I've been thinking about one thing. What's that picture of?
Oh, that was the pictorial we had up on the iBang.
Oh, yes. That's cute. Later on in the week, Wheels is coming in, who is Dice Man's right-hand man. He's got in touch with us. I'm glad we're catching him before we're going on vacation. or as you call it, Chris, gaycation.
Yeah, I was very happy when I got a text from Wheels because, everyone's looking forward to gaycation.
I thought it was Chris Wheeler, fucking play-by-play guy for the Phillies. I'm like, Wheels is coming in here where we are? The Wheels. Wheels interviewed me during Dream Week, so it was very exciting. Yeah. And he was like this, look, if you're going to fuck around doing all this, you're not going to make the main tape. Because you would get your own tape, but then you could also make main tape.
That's awesome.
Chuck in Atlanta.
Bennington.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Fall from Grace, you'll love this one. Pee Wee Herman.
I lived not too far from where he was for that big masturbation thing. Is what drove him down. Were you too young for that, Gail?
No, I remember it happening, and it never made him fall from grace in my eyes. Well, I always loved him.
Yes. See, here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this. Pre-computer, people would have to go out to a theater to masturbate. You couldn't get those films for your house.
And that's what,
That's what everybody was there for.
But isn't it expected that that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, you just think people are just like sitting there.
Was that like a turn your head type of thing? Like, we know what you're coming to do, but don't do it?
No, it's like, this is where, because Opie was saying today that he doesn't believe in two guys going to the movie, not cuddling up. He doesn't believe in the empty seat in between.
Like buffer zone.
But generally, when they would have those kind of triple X theaters, you would try to have a row to yourself. Right. You don't, everyone wanted to give each other a little bit of distance. They had this was all 42nd Street was back in the 80s. It was just those kind of theaters.
Nothing but just jackboots for as long as I could see.
And then they had the thing where Chris would be a live person and you would put change in, right? And then this metal thing would go up. And then when your 50 cents was done, it would drop down.
Come on!
Yeah. And this was the Big Apple. People would vacation here. I can't wait to get
Greatest city in the world.
It's the greatest. You're like, why did 9/11 happen then? Kind of clean out some stuff. Why did they wait? Here is Arthur. Arthur.
Hey, Ronnie B, Gail, love you guys. It was great to meet you in D.C. for the Unmasked Ali Wong.
Yeah, that was fun.
The interesting interaction, I'm sure, Ronnie, you've dealt with this over the years many times, being a public person, where you meet someone who's a fan on the radio and they look at you like, hey, I've known you for so long, and you look at them like you're a complete stranger. Has Gail kind of embrace that, where someone's walking up to you?
This turned into an Unmasked. This is very exciting for you, Gail. It's a nice Unmasked.
Yeah, when I met Gail, I almost wanted to have a conversation like, oh, hey, did Birdie make the trip? Are we still doing vegan Mondays kind of thing? And you
we called security.
Well, radio is so unique in that way. It's like you have such a personal connection when you're listening to people that way, and it's a conversation with us. So it feels like it makes sense that people feel like.
Well, what about Vito with a Snapchat? When his Snapchat fans come up to him.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
It's a weird feeling. I remember when I was an intern and I was like 19 and somebody came up to me in the street and they were like, hey, I know who you are. And I was like, I'm a 19-year-old. This is weird.
You didn't want to be recognized for being 19.
It was just weird.
John talks about you guys and he'll say, well, the guys we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who are we talking about? Like real people or like the radio people that are your friends?
Yeah.
My radio friends,
But yeah, I think when people listen to a talk show, they're kind of talking back to it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the whole reason you hear a conversation that you feel like you could be in. You never think to yourself, well, there's something so interesting. It's over my head, but I'm going to try to follow if I can. It's not educational. It's like being in a car with somebody.
And there aren't many other types of entertainment that I think you would have that personal connection. You wouldn't walk up to somebody who you've seen in a movie and be like, I feel like I know that character.
Right, that's true.
Brad Pitt the other day was just telling me.
Yeah. Because I saw Brad Pitt out here not too long ago, and everybody was fucking so excited to see him. It was a couple years ago. he was running around in Times Square with his long hair fucking flowing. People went batshit for him. Batshit.
He was shooting a commercial.
No, he wasn't. He had a fucking movie open up.
Was it a movie?
Yeah.
I thought he was shooting a commercial.
It was the movie where the zombies...
World War Z.
Yeah, where Jason's family. Still haven't seen it. I don't understand. It's very zombie. See, I feel like zombies like I feel about dragons. Just...
You don't like
I
it.
can't watch it. I can't sit there and pretend there's a dragon or a zombie.
Now, between Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, it feels like it's zombies versus dragons. Because those are like the two top popular shows. I feel like you have to choose. Are you on the team of dragons or zombies?
You really feel like you can't have the Beatles and the Stones?
Mm-mm.
No.
Can't have them both?
Walking Dead is garbage. Game of Thrones is superior in every way possible.
Well, I'm going to just go with that then, Chris, because you've given it plenty of thought.
It was well said.
I watched the first season of Walking Dead. It's not a good show.
But people love it, right? They do Talking Dead.
Yeah, they do Talking
talk
Dead.
after the show.
And now there's After the Thrones as well on HBO Go.
I need to watch that.
If I was like hosting that show, I would just always come back from a crouched. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe that just happened. That was a real dragon, I think. All right, we're going to have a couple people on the Red Queen is going to be in here.
Melisandre,
as you know. She's your favorite, the Red Queen?
I love her. She's a great character. Very attractive as well. Constantly taking her clothes off, too.
I'm just so bored of her tits. Like, I'm just so bored of them.
How could that happen?
I mean, there are other characters, and it's not because I'm bored of the tits, believe me. You have to love the tits if you're going to watch the show.
Right.
But I just feel like I've seen them so much, I could just draw them from memory right now.
This is her
Think
deal.
about this again.
She needs like either the seed or blood of a king to do her blood magic. So she's constantly trying to bang kings or people with king's blood. So she's constantly taking her clothes off.
Okay. Sounds like a fucking hell of a show. I mean, you realize that this can't happen, what they're saying. That you're going to get more magic by who you sleep with.
Hey, she birthed a shadow baby.
Okay.
That killed
You know what?
Baratheon.
Then I'm corrected. I got it. I apologize.
Good job,
to you.
Chris.
I didn't realize that she had a shadow baby. Now, was the doctor just like freaked, like he could barely even tell her?
Oh, no, it was a home birth, so she kind of...
It's a shadow baby.
The only person there was Davos Seaworth. So
Now, we're going to give you some brochures. A lot of shadow babies have very full lives. Obviously, they're not going to work. But there, Ope was picking up pictures of the Zika babies today.
Yeah.
And it's a type, look, there he is, the guy who fucked up. Look how he looks like he's a Marine Sergeant now. See, what's going to be a little, yeah. Look, he walks hunched over.
Yeah.
He's a young man to have a humpback like that.
Yeah, he's changed a lot. I mean, I saw him once, and he's changed a lot in 5 years.
Well, he got laid. That's what changed in his life.
Yeah, I could see the beard.
Suddenly got masculine. He was like a little kid when he came to work with us.
They fucking put a baby in that office his first day.
I know. He was a baby, and now he's a burned out, because all he does is fly around the country and put up a fucking... thing like, hey, at the festival, he puts up a 4-foot sign that says serious, and his job's done.
Then he goes and drinks at an Applebee's by himself for 4 hours every night.
Just staring at the bottom of a fucking cocktail.
Yeah.
Fuck, how'd this happen to me? I used to live in Rhode Island. It don't take you long to be burnt out, no matter what the business you've chosen for yourself.
And you're just a broken down piece of meat.
Yeah. It's all over for you. You fucking just go everywhere with a gun, no matter what happens. Just aiming it right away. Because you've seen shit. Some of those guys come back from a war, it's like they've been away for 800 years. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, hey, you want your old room back? And they're like, I was in a fucking war, dude. I'm not here to get my old room or fucking hang out with you people. My head's still back there. And you're just like, okay, we fucked up.
Guess who's together now?
Yeah.
Just like,
right.
What?
Why?
You thinking about getting a job at the Piggly Wiggly, or are you taking the summer for yourself? I was in a fucking war with people shooting at each other. And it never catches up where we're like, hey, we got to do something about this. Every time. Every war. They even said this time, oh, this is not going to be another Vietnam with the vets. Yep, it is. Every goddamn time. How are you supposed to fucking say to somebody, now you're back, you want to watch TV? You know where I was, dude? I don't even think I could go to space and come back and ever fucking, like, you don't understand how far up in the air I was. Don't stop being air. That's how far up there I was. Something happened to, like, to Neil Armstrong. He didn't fucking really come back from the moon.
Really?
Yeah, like, he didn't want to talk to anyone, you know? And that's why people think that he saw something up there.
Like, changed him.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a shadow baby.
Maybe it was just like, like he was looking out the fucking window. He's on the moon. He's looking out the window, and suddenly a face just fucking...
I knew it!
Turn away!
Let's never go to space again.
Yeah. We're done with space, and I don't want to talk about it. There is no space. It's just Earth, wherever you go.
Moon conquered, don't need to return.
Yeah, done. We got there. Man, it has a space program. You talk about fucking falling from grace. We went to the moon in 1969. Now we get up about 7, 8 miles. We're like, we're done.
We went and saw the planetarium at the New Natural History Museum yesterday, and it's like a 30-minute thing, Neil deGrasse Tyson, that fucks with your head.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about how everything is accelerating and the universe is just wider and wider and dark matter. And I mean, it just...
Science is magic now.
I had a wild experience doing that same exact thing, but it was years ago.
Yeah. Tom Hanks used to do it.
Tom Hanks used to do the voiceover for it.
And then he was like, this is the place that all of our molecules, we are literally stardust. We're made out of stardust. It's not fucking around.
He was doing like the Carl Sagan, pale blue dot kind of monologue. And I was just like, whoa.
I know.
It was insane. And to watch as you pull farther and farther out, and it's just like a speck. It's insane. It's crazy.
And this is the whole as far as we know, this is the only place that you can live. Anyone can live. Everyone seems like they live in the one spot. It's like we have this giant fucking vastness, and in this one spot with barely any breathable air. I mean, as soon as you get up a couple miles, we can't live anymore. As soon as you go down a little bit lower, we can't live. We should be laying on our backs right now, just trying to take in the air that we have. And then I'll be like, Vito, stop over breathing. You're fucking wasting oxygen. This is it. This is the only breathable stuff. That's it. And what do we do while we're here? Fucking Game of Thrones is so much better than Walking Dead. I mean, we really waste whatever existence there is. But just think of how many species live in this little area. Most of them, we haven't even seen ourselves. Like, how many species do you think you've seen in your life? I'll put myself around 80. Maybe about 90, because I went to the zoo once. But most of the species are in the ocean.
Mm-hmm. I'm at about a dozen. I never even saw a blue jay before.
No, you have. You just don't look.
You don't pay attention.
They're all over New York.
But that planetarium, it's gorgeous. I remember sitting in there once, and I'm just looking out at the vastness of space. And this woman taps me on the shoulder, and she goes like this. You can't smoke in here. And I go, I'll fucking burn. I go, it's $18. I'll fucking smoke wherever I want. We came from a fiery place. We were born of a star. But that's the shit that weirds you out. Is that where those things come from? Those atoms. It's like we're aliens. We were born. Our atoms are from the other side.
Yeah. Cooked inside these.
How could that even be, though?
Yeah, our atoms are like cooked inside these, and then
He was even saying that like the matter that we know and understand, like molecules, is the smallest, like minimal part of what actually space is made of. And like we think it's dark matter. Like what the fuck is that?
So there's dark matter inside of us.
No, we're not made of dark matter. We're like this teeny tiny bit of everything we know that. Every kind of molecule and atom that we understand is like a minuscule part of what the universe is actually made of.
So we're not even most of the universe.
We're like 5%. I think it was like 5%.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What's the rest of that shit?
And all the galaxies, he was like, what we see of them, it was really 2 billion years ago.
Right.
Now. So, like, who the fuck knows?
What's happened in the last 2 billion years?
Or 6,000, depending on which book you read.
Which one? Oh, my God.
I say 6,000. I think there was a dinosaur on the ark.
Jesus riding around on a dinosaur.
I actually had a conversation with a woman who was saying this exact thing, that she was like, no, like, I'm not one of these Christians who believes, that the dinosaurs were like some weird, mistake. She's like, no, they existed. They were on the ark. And she was trying to explain scientifically how she was able, she was able to rationalize. She's like, baby dinosaurs? Hello, that's what they had.
Well, they've had to kind of evolve to that because it's becoming more and more like 100% apparent that there were dinosaurs.
Right.
You can't continue to say, oh, no, those are fake fossils. That's not.
Right.
So
and that's what they were saying for a while.
Yeah.
And then, who was it who said
The devil
something
put
like,
those fossils
right.
that was to tempt us.
God,
You're
like devil.
We still know, I think people have that connection to that so they can say we know who we are and why we're here. Because from a science point of view, we cannot explain why there's life on this planet, why there's, I still don't even get, when you look at the atoms and all, how do the atoms know whether to become a fucking pen or a car? You know what I mean? Like, there has to be something that holds these things together as a pen. Now, here's the other thing. These pen things, the atoms in your body might have been a fucking pen before. You know what I mean? It's mind-blowing.
Is that how Buddhism works?
No.
You become a pen in a different life?
You know what? This is the thing. That is true. That people like the idea of returning, and we do reuse the same stuff. It's just that you're not you. You know what I mean? Like, we want to think that this us is around, but everything that we're made of has been something before it was us. And then you don't even have the same atoms in you as when you were fucking 7. Those things are gone.
yeah, you're like an entirely different being.
Right.
That, like, over the course of your lifetime, your atoms and everything has just changed.
So what you're saying is if we could time travel, you could go back and have sex with a 7-year-old you and not be breaking any laws.
I think so. I think you're right.
Your Honor, it's merely masturbation. What I've just done was masturbate. And in a mind-fucking way, I'm going to be the first to admit it. Vito, what are your Italian thoughts on this? What do the Italian people think? What are you going to do about it? Is that it?
I don't know. We don't have a lot of thoughts on atoms. We just think about, maybe like what atoms go into sauces and.
But seriously, Theo, what is the purpose of life? What is all this stuff we're talking about today? What's it all about, Vito?
I couldn't even begin to tell you.
You don't even think about those things.
Do you ever think about it?
No, I really don't.
That's the way to be, Just like a houseplant. Just being.
The only thing that really used to freak me out as a kid was the thought of if there is an afterlife, that it never ends. And that you
it's
go
exhausting.
every single day.
That is, that's tiring.
Because what if it stinks?
No, just the fact that there's no end. I couldn't imagine something where there was not an end to it.
So you'd prefer the idea of an end rather than...
I like the idea of an afterlife, but I like the idea if the afterlife has an end date.
How long you want it to last?
The afterlife or my life?
Yeah, no, your afterlife.
Afterlife? I don't know. I could do 500.
All right, so... What? But 500 years is all he wants to do. That still sounds like too much.
Yeah. But at least I know it's ending.
I'm just wondering how much stuff you accumulate over 500 years. I mean, your house is like, I'm like a hoarder. Jeremy in Kentucky.
Yeah, I was just listening to you talking about about how vast space was and how everything used to be. The atoms were all something else, but no, the gas that we're using right now used to be dinosaurs.
Yeah, I always go there and say, put some dinosaurs in my tank. That's the old Esso thing. But yeah, when they get into that energy can't be created or destroyed, I mean, you'll never feel dumber than you do when you're sitting around scientists like that.
But then the people who say, like, with the idea of the universe is expanding, don't they also say that the universe eventually will, like, collapse back onto itself?
And then expand again.
And expand again.
It's a heartbeat.
Okay.
Just
Well, and the thing we watched yesterday, like, showed essentially from whatever galaxy you're in, it looks like you are the center and everything is moving away from you, like insanely fast. But if you were looking from another galaxy, it would also look like you were the center and everything was speeding away from you.
It doesn't make sense.
I know.
It's insane. They're insane. And then they're saying, like, if you get small enough, even time itself breaks down and starts to run in a different direction. So, like, there's some people who think when the universe goes the other way, we'll relive our lives, but starting at the end of our life, all the way back to the beginning.
Like Benjamin Button style?
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but it sounds like it.
Great.
Don't see it because it doesn't end the way you think it is. So
doesn't end with him.
Doesn't end with him as a giant baby, which is why I saw the movie. I thought it was going to end with him being a giant baby.
Why would he be giant?
Because when he was born, he was a tiny old man. So it would make sense that he was a man-sized baby. But instead, he just becomes a little baby. It's so dumb.
I would
Don't
love.
see
It's
it.
very unfortunate.
Spoiler alert.
First of
It's
all,
not what you think it is.
I'm starting a band called Man Sized Baby. Right now, I got the new guy in Blink 182.
Nice.
As part of it. I forget what his name. I think his name is Doug. I don't know though.
He's from the band Alkaline Trio.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's the guy from Alkaline Trio.
Yeah. And who are the other guys in Alkaline Trio?
I don't know. I don't know the other Dose guys from the trio.
Okay. They must be pissed.
Well,
We were a trio.
We
man.
were a trio. Now he's in another trio.
But now that band's only one original member. But everybody acts like Travis Pastrana's been there the whole damn time. Everybody forgets about my boy Scott Naylor.
Yep, I did. I always thought it was Travis.
Y'all forgot about Scott.
I forgot about Dre, though.
All right, we got a break here, Chris.
Yes, we do.
It's the Bennington Show. Unmasked coming up with Norman Lear. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you. Go over to the iBank for this. This is Bennington.
Pin is back with Mike Vecchione in studio with us. Mike's co-hosting the Night Late Show with Dan Soder tomorrow night, June 29th at the UCB Theater. Go to ucbtheater.com for tickets. Mike's album, Muscle Confusion, is available now on iTunes. MikeVecchione.com for all additional dates. And follow him on Twitter at ComicMikeV.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you,
for
buddy.
having me in, guys.
Well, you and Dan live together, right?
We live together. We call ourselves the 2555 Boys.
Okay,
Because that's our address. We live under a train, so that's how we're doing it.
I saw, I forget what was, but did you put out YouTube's when it was right about when his special
Yeah.
came out and you were just busting his balls?
I interviewed children. I interviewed when I interviewed when I was on the road. I just happened to have friends where in the cities I was at, and I interviewed their children. So I did like short videos, and they were pretty funny. And so I had Dan right before his special. He was my first adult that I had interviewed. But he lives like a child. So
He does live like a child, but you two look very happy together. And it's a nice Queens apartment. It's a nice large apartment.
couple of house husbands
But
living together.
but there was a hole in the wall at one of the spots. Yeah. What happened?
Dan punched the door.
Okay.
He's got a little bit of a Swedish-Irish temper going sometimes. And it was because his girlfriend, I remember when it happened. It's like, he just wanted to watch a 49ers game. He's coming off the road. And he's like, I just can't wait to get off the road. And I'm going to come home. I'm going to eat a big sandwich. And she's like, well, she's a great girl. But she was like, why don't you, I want you to come. It's my birthday. He already did something for her birthday. He's like, now I want you to have cake with my grandmother up in Westchester. And he was like, I told you that I wanted to watch the Niners. I told you, it's my team. It's like, I really want to watch them. And she's like, you can't, you're not gonna, my birthday. Mm-hmm. And so he just like lost it and hit the door.
Instead of hitting her, where he could have done something positive. But that is like, I want a nice sandwich and watch the game is every King of Queens episode. I just want a nice sandwich and watch the game. Well, you can't.
We were just saying, that's not a real thing.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It rings true. It has to ring true. It's funny for a reason.
Yes.
But the thing that's beautiful about him is like, he thought all his bases were covered. He took her out, like, he took her on a trip, like, he took care of it. He thought, I took care of it. This is all all settled now. It's just me and my sandwich and the game. And it's like the Niners was the thing he bonded with his father over, and his father left and passed away, all this stuff. So it's like there's a lot of it's not just a guy watching football, it's a guy connecting with his father that left. And you know what I mean? It's like all those underlying emotions which came out on the door.
I told you specifically, my father's watch. I didn't maybe express to you how important it was to me.
That's the funniest shit. But it's also funnier that we will get crazier in our relationships there than at any other time in our life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nothing compares with that.
Yeah, you walk around all day and you just eat shit from people all day, and then the person that you care about the most, you're like, you're a fucking asshole. That's the one time you're gonna I'm gonna let it go this time.
It's like a mob betrayal. You know what I mean? It's like you're supposed to hang together, and then the one person who's supposed to be your confidant turns on you.
Well, I had this girlfriend when I was younger, and every weekend we'd be out with my friends, and we'd get to about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and she said that she would have a headache and needed to go home. Now, I stay out to 8-9 o'clock in the morning at the time.
Wow.
Sometimes the following morning, right? So sometimes, when we leave, this might be a 48-hour party sometimes. So this went on and on and on. And then finally one night, I'm driving her back, and I see a fucking hospital. I just pull into it. I'm pretty fucking whacked out at the time. And I take her into the hospital, and I said, please, this girl needs to be checked. She has something wrong with her head. She might have a brain tumor. I want her to be checked out completely. She gets a headache every Saturday night. And I'm doing this in the hospital. And through, the day or two later, through my brownout, I saw the looks of horror on these fucking people at the hospital while I was using their emergency room to make a relationship point.
Yeah.
I go, there's something seriously wrong with her.
That's so great. You just took her to a hospital, fix her.
Yes.
Fix this
her,
woman.
Because anytime I'm enjoying myself, she has a bad headache and we have to go home. And now you look at it, you're like, that fucking young man probably belonged in jail to be acting that way. You know what I mean?
This is not a place for jokes or fights.
No, that's great.
No.
Or they were like, this guy's trying to make a great point. It's unbelievable.
A doctor came out. Good point, my friend. Let's take her in. Get the brain looked at right now.
What was the copay on your point?
Oh, no. There was no copay. It was just straight fucking cash I was paying in those days. Some fucking bill rolled in that I crumbled up and chucked.
You did a Sonny Corleone where you just threw money at him. Get yourself cleaned up.
Yes, we broke your fucking your camera. Here's some cash. Poor Sonny. Oh, God.
Shot in the causeway.
Still heartbreaking.
I can't go to Staten Island to this day. You know what I mean? It still breaks me up. And I really do think, despite what Marlon Brando said, he would have made a better Godfather.
Violent temper, though. Wasn't clear thinking.
Still, I think that guy works. I think some people need to be chopped up with an axe.
Yeah.
And Sonny would have been able to do it.
You need passion for that job.
Yeah.
Well, what's it cost to get to Staten? It's like $15 to get, which is actually worse than being shot on the causeway. It's like a lot of money.
Yeah, not with Easy Pass. It just feels free. Hey, this is easy. Any card makes me think I don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
This Magic card.
That's true.
You take Magic cards, don't you?
Even paying for cabs in cash now, it's like, wow, I don't even think about when you use Uber.
Yeah.
That's free. That's a free ride.
Right. When you're in Uber, you don't have a fucking care in the world. And when with a cab driver, you scream at them, this is my money.
Why are you taking this paper from me?
Yeah.
This paper that I earned.
For what? Dropping me off somewhere?
A friend would do that as a favor.
You were on your way somewhere.
You were just riding around. What else do you have to do? I'll give you $5. And that's it. That's all I'm paying you.
Mike Vecchione is co-hosting Night Late Show with Dan Soder tomorrow night, June 29th at UCB Theater. Go to ucbtheater.com for tickets. His album Muscle Confusion is available on iTunes.
Everybody loves Mike Vecchione. We know that he's the next big thing. We know he's the corner that hasn't been turned yet. We all feel it.
Oh, wow. I appreciate that. I hope it happens soon for financial sake.
Oh, I didn't say it was going to happen soon. But it will happen.
The next thing at age 50. He's the next big thing with a cane.
Until finally, hey, we thought he was going to make it. I'm shocked.
Osteoporosis beat us to it.
Yeah. Well, you and Soder doing this show. Who else is in the show with you? You bringing people
I don't know.
up?
Soder's front. He's like, "What are you doing this Wednesday at 11?" And I'm like, "He's like, do you want to co-host this show with me at UCB?" I'm like, "It sounds fun. That sounds like something we could do."
Yeah, but here's the thing: what you really wanted to co-host with him was the bonfire.
The bonfire. Yeah, I don't think I don't have that chemistry. That Big J is. He's great. You did the Unmasked when I was at the Unmasked. It was unbelievable. It was really
funny.
good.
Yeah.
Really good.
It was, and the only people who complained was Soder and Louis J. Gomez when they're like, "We met each other before." And I'm like, first of all, no one gives a fuck. Second, I didn't make up the spider web of friendships. That Jay just put himself in the middle of New York comedy.
Yeah.
Like nobody would know anybody without Jay.
Yeah. He's the glue that holds them all together.
I don't know, those guys met obviously before, but, Jay is, everybody gravitates around Jay. Jay brought me into the city.
Is that right?
Yeah, he brought me into the clubs and I went around with him and he introduced me to everybody.
Where did he meet you first?
Philadelphia. I met him in Philadelphia because we came out of the same club, but him, Kurt, and Kevin Hart were already gone. Keith Robinson was taking them up by then. So those guys were growing up. I came about around the same time as DeRosa. Joe DeRosa. Yeah. So we were in the same club. And then Jay came back and I'm like, oh, this guy's really funny. And we met. And then when I moved to him, Kurt, and Joe did a show in New Jersey and I was on the show and I went out afterwards with them drinking. I'm like, hey, I'm going to move to New York. I'm not asking for anything. I know how favors are, but can you just point me in the right direction? And he did more than that. So
that's actually, I wish I would have known that before the Unmasked.
Yeah.
Could have brought it up. It's a very important story because he actually spent that whole Unmasked talking about the people who were kind to him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Which makes, I know the whole pay it forward thing sounds cheesy, but that does kind of make for a community, a society, when people go, oh, I was treated well, so now I'll treat other people well.
Right.
When you're like, oh, I was mistreated, now I'm going to mistreat the fucking world. That's how I'm going to get even,
Yeah.
That's the way Chris Stanley grew up. So he thinks steal from everybody.
Let's see the whole world burn.
Yeah. Why is that? Because your childhood was so bad?
Yeah, it was pretty shitty. It wasn't fun. So you take it out on everyone else. Relationships, friends, work.
Biological didn't bother? Just like you and Shaq had the same problem?
A good stepdad can make up for that, though. They're the unsung heroes.
Do you think so?
My dad was there, but a stepdad can come in and really freaking take up the slack, and they get very little adulation for it.
Well, they normally...
Well, the mother, I guess.
You normally get this when the kid says, "It's none of your business, Carl." Hey, I'm not your dad. But I am a friend here for you. But your mom never remarried, right?
Oh, no, never dated again after my father passed away. Nothing.
Mm.
Wow, that sounds like an old Sicilian thing, like wear black forever the rest of your life.
I believe in that, though. I think a chick should act that way.
You need at least 1 year of wearing black head to toe. That's I think that's a common Italian.
And do me a favor, try to dive on the coffin when it's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's
so everybody doesn't end up thinking I'm gay.
I've learned well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the Italian way.
You better be screaming at my funeral.
Yeah.
And I want you to do this too. I want you to point through the church and go, you all did this.
Yeah.
Hey.
Even great. From when I was very little, he always said, I want to make sure, I got someone at the door to turn people away. Be like, you actually disappointed him. And you turned your back on him, and you're not invited in.
How dare you show up.
And you're like, I trust you with this.
Yeah.
Please don't do that to Fezzy, though.
What's that? Turn him away? Well, you just actually made me look forward to my turn. That's a mean joke like that.
It was a joke. I'm just kidding. Get in here, you son of a bitch. Get in here.
We had this planned. You're doing 10. And you better fucking solve.
The people from Montreal are here.
Yeah. At one point, make somebody come up and put a blanket around you because it looks like you're going into shock.
He's so weak right now.
I remember when I was younger, a couple kids in my school died. And I fucking show up, and there's this lines around the block, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was a little jealous. I'm like, fuck. He's like the most popular guys I ever met. And we were actually going like this. Do you think I could draw this way? You know what I mean? Like, do you think I could pull these kind of numbers? But it looked great. I mean, girls were crying, and it's why, like, they got to be very careful in the school. If one kid hangs themselves, then they all go, "Oh, I'd like to get," you know.
Yeah, that's
you know
a lot
how
of
kids'
it.
fucking trends happen. And this fucking kid hung himself. This is weird, on a fucking tree swing, right?
Wow.
So when you went down to the fucking tree swing, he was just fucking hanging there.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get, you know?
There was one like that not too long ago in Prospect Park where somebody had like hung themselves from a tree and then like an early morning jogger found them.
Wow.
That's why I don't jog. I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything like that.
Oh yeah, you should.
And that's why I sleep late. I don't.
Yep.
If someone's going to find him, it's not going to be me.
And that's just like why I eat whatever I want to.
Sure.
Like, why not?
But was there a note at all? Like a note really kind of makes it or breaks it.
Do you
Explaining it?
Would you
yeah,
hear
well,
a note?
explaining it. At least explaining it. When you do it and there's no note, it's like, I didn't know this guy was, everybody says the same thing. I didn't know this guy was going through it like that. It's like, you don't really know when people are walking around. There's a constant thoughts going on in everybody's head, so you don't know what's going on in that other person's head. I'm presenting myself to you a certain way right now, but sitting in the lobby, I could have had just psychotic thoughts.
Dude, I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm always. I mean, it helps if you're an addict, but I guess I can make some of this stuff work the other way. But yeah, you're right about that. A lot of people, you'll see somebody so depressed, and you'll go, "How's everything going? Good. Is it really? Because you don't seem like you're fucking good right now."
Yeah.
People are dishonest. But I think leaving a note is somewhat effeminate. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
I think you owe everyone the note.
Well, how are you going to how do you start something like this?
It's nobody's fault, you know.
But it is everybody's fault.
Well, no, it's really how,
Well, yeah.
not to take the blame onto the victim, but it's like, maybe not. It's how you're interpreting it too, you know?
You seem to me like you've pondered suicide.
How long did you sit in the lobby?
Yeah. You've really locked yourself in if something like this happened. Chris, where do you put your odds? Odds at suicide.
I'll give you a percentage.
Yeah.
I'd say 62%. That's how I go.
Slow.
How? I throw myself in front of a subway is number one.
Wow.
That's
disgusting.
awful. That's like
Terribly
the worst
painful.
one.
And fucking stops the whole line for
Yeah,
everybody
it's
all
fucked
day.
up.
Yep.
It's really
Yeah,
shitty.
people hate you.
It's like really selfish.
No one's coming to your funeral.
Yeah. It's
I'm
fine.
going to throw myself in front of a boat.
Or then I guess maybe gun if I could find one.
Gun?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to fucking be dead after that.
No, you do
A
not.
lot of people blow their faces off.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's a bad one.
Then they got bad problems. Because they'll bring those kids around to the school. I thought I had problems before, but after I shot, you're just like, oh, fuck.
Jumping off a building's got to be bad because you're terrified. As soon as you jump, you're like, I probably made a mistake.
I've always thought the bridge jump into water would be the best.
Really?
way to go. That's what I would do.
The best?
Yeah.
Aren't you terrified on the way down, though?
Yeah, but I think it's just like one ride on the way down.
If
Like
I
at
was-
least like a yeah.
If
you
I
look at
went
it like
off the
that.
bridge, I'd go jackknife all the way down. And if I jumped off the building, I act like I was rowing. Because like a lot of people did he think this was Wizard of Oz? He tried to row out of it. When I was a little kid, I think that was one of the scariest scenes in Wizard of Oz to me, when the fucking row guys would just wave to her.
Oh, yeah, it was real. I mean, and then that's when the witch comes by on the. It turns into the broom, or is that when her bike turns
She
into the
comes in
broom?
by a bike and it turns into a witch.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Well, it's a scary movie for kids. No one ever even brings that up, but...
Which one was it?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah.
You probably didn't get it where you lived.
Oh, no, you know what? It's funny you would mention that movie because I was just flying back. I was flying back from...
On a broom?
Las Vegas.
Okay, good.
And I'm watching a gay guy watch The Wizard of Oz.
Wow,
that's where it is for me now. I've already seen the movie. Now I'm watching a gay guy react to the Wizard of Oz. It's
Was he loving it?
He was loving it.
Yeah.
He was loving it. It's like their national anthem.
Why is that? Why do they love... because they come out of their shitty...
Yeah,
Kansas
shitty life into the
a
color,
beautiful
into
color.
the light.
I thought it was more about the shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The shoes are great.
The
They're
shoes
pretty nice.
help.
Yeah.
Good costumes and stuff.
I've seen those shoes somewhere before, like in a museum and stuff. They tore them around. They look tacky. I mean, they're not as nice as they look on screen.
Do you ever watch a movie like that and just be like, everybody's dead? The dog, everybody dead.
Sometimes you look into an entire crowd and you're like, this is a Roman Coliseum filled with people and they're all gone.
Yeah. It happens to me more often, like, if I look at, like, a historical photograph, like an old photograph.
But here's a weird thing,
those
though.
people-
In New York, everyone's gone but the buildings. You're like, oh, Tiffany's, that's still there, the Waldorf, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, everyone's dead, but that brick is still there.
Right.
Yeah, that the French restaurant that I took you to in my neighborhood used to be a bar, and they have a really old photograph, and like that building's still there, but like nothing around it looks the same.
Yeah.
The roads obviously are in the same spot,
It's
but it's just like
years old.
I like
yeah,
that. No, I like that. Is there a picture of it?
yeah,
There's a picture of it,
and
right?
it's really surreal because you're sitting in this restaurant. You're like, I was just standing out there.
Right.
I saw this exact
I like
window
that.
out there.
I like that.
Yeah, but I was looking at that picture. I'm pretty sure I saw your boyfriend in there.
What?
Yeah. What?
I don't trust him now.
Yeah. He's the undead.
They had one of those on in Astoria where I live on Steinway. They have the Steinway piano factory, and then it's just like rolls of hay and stuff on the street. Like that's where I live. It's all different now.
It's all changed. Well, what are you going to do? You know, they closed the train station in Chester. You know, once they moved in. That's always my parents. That's all. The whole reason that if I can be racist about anything, they had to close the train station. I'm like, Ryan, where the fuck were we going anyway?
They use trains too.
I guess not. I guess they were. I was like, they must have really fucked with that train station.
That's Chester, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's like you have no street cred from Chester because Chester's a very, very, very rough area, but no one knows about, like, people know North Philly, people know South Philly, people know these different areas, Harlem, people know Brooklyn, but Chester, people don't know, and Chester's probably worse than all of them.
There was a time where there wasn't a single taxpayer in the city.
Wow.
Not a single taxpayer. No one was fucking working, but everybody's sitting on their stoop. But yeah, there's plenty of towns like that. I thought fucking Racine was crazy when I went out there when I was a kid. I'm like, whoever thought there would be a badass town in Wisconsin? I don't want to get killed.
What is that?
Look what it is. Occasionally giant celebrities call here. One of the biggest filmmakers. I believe this gentleman's films have gone over $1 billion. Wow. $1 billion. Dennis Dugan on the phone with us right now. How are you, sir?
Hi, Dennis.
There isn't one. There is this Marina Football League.
All right, hold on. We got him? And he just walked away.
I don't know where he went.
Chris gave me like the sign, like go to this right away. But Dennis has done a bunch of Adam Sandler's films.
Oh, cool.
So, I don't know, must have been half dozen more. So we got Dennis?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Dennis, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm pretty great. How are you?
Hi, Dennis.
We're good.
Hey, 10. I've done 10 Adam Sandler movies.
10 Adam Sandler movies he's directed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've seen 3 of them. Hey, I'm calling. You were talking about Gail's salary.
Yeah.
And her burgeoning movie career.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't. We were going to shoot in Winnipeg. It was going to be Boston, but we moved to Winnipeg because it's way cheaper.
Uh-huh.
Because Gail's salary is so out of line.
Yeah, well, she wants an Iron Man salary.
Yeah, that's what I said. I got to make that Iron Man money.
Yeah, she was like, it was scale, and then it's like a makeup person, and bringing 2 groupies and a stripper. I don't know what the hell, but it's just too much. So we couldn't, Winnipeg, you have to shoot in Winnipeg before the winter comes.
Uh-huh.
So we couldn't quite get it together in time to shoot it this fall. So we're going to push to the spring.
Sweet.
Nice.
Gives you time.
Yeah, it gives you time to lose that weight,
The entire cast, you're losing weight.
Everybody's going to work out together.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let you know that we're still on, but it's the spring.
Very
It's
cool.
the spring. Nice.
That's awesome.
All right. You guys all good? Everybody happy?
We're great. Mike Vecchione, a very, very funny comedian, is sitting with us. And if you need a boxer, like a young middleweight boxer, he'd be perfect for your film.
Yes. I'd be willing to cut weight, too. I know how to cut weight.
Mike Vecchione is a funny motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you.
Yep, you are, buddy. Hey, so I don't want to take up any more of Mike Vecchione's time because he's trying to sell shit.
Yeah, he's moving.
My CDs aren't going to move themselves.
Yeah.
All right, so goodbye, and Gail, I'll let you know what's going on.
Very cool.
Talk to you soon, my friend. Take care.
Happy 4th.
Bye. Hey, that takes a little pressure off.
Nice.
But yeah, Mike, this is, I always tell you, do radio. Dennis listens to the show, goes, she'd be perfect for this part in this movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was shocking
Yeah.
because he was in studio with us. I had no idea that he was going to say this to us.
Yeah.
And I think I might have just was going shut up for 30 minutes
Yeah,
until
did.
finally he had to say, do you want to do this? I was like, oh, yes, thank you, is what I meant to say.
I actually auditioned for a part, Corpse on the Street. Didn't get it.
Who got it?
A guy who was really blind. They're actually using a dead man, is what they went with.
Gail, that would be great if you were you're like, he's going to shoot in Boston, and then with the Winnipeg, you're like, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going. It's not in my contract.
Because you can't do that when you're an actor. You're like, yeah, we're off to Romania. And you just shoot wherever they go.
You're like, okay, great.
We're going to be in the Vomit Comic. Great. That's terrific. People don't say that regular gigs where you go, oh, no, I wouldn't do that to be in the movie. Anybody will do anything. We want you to cut off a finger.
Yeah.
Sure. And what?
We could do it with just makeup and, but we want you to actually do it just for our own pleasure.
I'd say yes to Winnipeg in the winter. I'd be like,
kidding. Oh, it's
sure.
beautiful. Beautiful in the winter. The funny thing, because we're going up to Montreal for JFL, but the funny thing is, of the way Canadians will be outside the entire summer. Everyone in Canada is just at a street party the entire summer. It's the best place to go in the summer.
It's great.
Because everybody is in a fantastic mood.
Right.
They're like, I can't believe that we can walk out here. Look, I'm not wearing a coat or anything.
Right. Because the seasonal depression probably kicks in really hard around November.
Do you ever get that at all? Do you ever feel like this?
I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand. I think it's a funny concept. I have a joke that I stopped eating bread, to lean up. And, who doesn't get that is older Italians, because essentially they were in the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And we needed bread to live. I'm like, well, the white sugar kind of makes me depressed. It's like, well, I was alive during the Great Depression and all we had was bread. And it's like, you should talk to my ex-girlfriend because she had seasonal depression. So you almost died from starvation and she gets sad when it's cloudy. So you guys are like twins. You guys are like the same.
I enjoy a nice light depression, though. You know what I mean?
And that's what seasonal depression is, I think.
It's just you're sitting there, you're looking outside, and it's all shitty, and you're like, I can't go out there. You know what I mean? I'm best off just staying in here. Love it.
You see that, and then it's like you reflect inward, like, what am I doing? I live under a train in Queens. What's happening?
That's what the road can do to me. Anytime that you're out by yourself on the road, I don't know why I'm not fucking hanging from a belt already. You're just it's a roadway in. Yeah. I can fucking hear them cleaning a room 3 doors down. Where do I have to go until tonight? Ugh.
Yeah. And you know what? I was just in Vegas, and that's great, but I was alone. So it was all this all the people with their friends drinking, partying, and I'm just on the outsides going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I have no friends.
No friends.
See, and at that point, you'd be better off somewhere depressing.
That's true.
Because then you could just be with yourself.
Right. This is life.
You're like that. This is
but
how it is.
I have a return date in Vegas. I can't fucking stay too many days in a row before I got to get out.
Why? Because of gambling?
No, it's just the entire thing just starts to feel like a film on my body. Vegas itself.
I've been to Vegas once, and I was there for just over 24 hours. And I thought that might be the perfect amount of time to be in Vegas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
When you think you're going to do a week in Vegas, you better not, Yeah,
we went a couple of years ago, and it was 4 days. And I think by day 2.5, we were just You just reek like old, old people that died in Vegas.
Well, I like though sometimes like when you first get there, you're so excited. You're like I'm gonna go get to sleep. 4 a.m. You're like, I'm gonna get up and gamble.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not gonna lay here in bed. I'm losing money. You're just down 4 o'clock in the morning, rolling those fucking bones with strangers.
I would like to have seen old seedy mob Vegas. That's what I would have liked. Now it's like it's super corporate.
The Disney
and
Vegas,
artificial, and everything's so expensive. They used to I think everything was like super cheap because they wanted you to gamble.
Right.
You get like a $4 steak and lobster.
Yeah.
Now it's like everything's jacked up. It's like an airport times 2.
I think they know a lot of people go there and don't gamble like they used to, though.
Yeah,
I think
because it's more about shows and
he had shows and it's malls and all that. Where it used to be guys who went with their wife, why they fucking were degenerate gamblers. And then had mob guys going like this, you're paying us, right? This can't go on like this anymore. I'd rather get the money. I hope you can call your brother. They always give you that thing. That when you owe a fucking bookie money, he tries to give you options of people in your life you could bother. You get hold of your dad or anybody like that yet? You got some friends from work that maybe you work it off with them somehow. You're just like, I can do this without your fucking help. Chris, you used to have a bad gambling problem. You feel like you got it under control?
I mean, I got it under control in the sense that it's not football season.
That is true.
That's his seasonal depression.
Yeah, nobody wants to bet a baseball game. Come on, Mets.
No, it's impossible.
Now you have all these reality shows, too. You can bet on Dancing with the Stars.
Well, I was thinking about making a Big Brother bet with Vito.
Well, Big Brother Fantasy?
Yeah. I don't see it, though. I don't like that they changed the game a little bit.
Oh, with this new, a third person is on the block?
Yeah, you take skill out of it. It becomes about luck now.
I also feel like there's not one competitor in this that's a smart person other than, maybe the vets, but everybody else just feels really dumb, and they just tell everybody their whole...
Well,
they get too excited.
They absolutely found the worst gay guy in America to fucking represent, too, which is always funny to me.
That guy's garbage. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
The Messiah of the rookies.
Yeah. The Messiah.
Such defense
I'm like
to
Jesus Christ himself. The Hispanic gays are really fucking frightening. Hispanic gays always seem like they're going to cut somebody, no matter what's happening.
They're intense people.
They're pretty intense.
Yeah, they're intense, but not enough to put the knife all the way in. Just cut like a pizza. They should run around with those fucking pizza cutters. Just roll it up someone's back. Ow! 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 You're trying to run while they're doing it?
Latina, they're already emotional, and then you add the gay in there, and that's extra emotional.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much for one little body to hold for itself. They're always ready to chuck themselves in front of a train like Chris.
Any moment now.
You said you almost jumped in front of a train when you were younger?
Oh yeah, because I missed a party on Staten Island. It was it was the time when I had a beeper. It wasn't even cell phone. I had a beeper. This was fucking late 90s.
Yeah.
So you missed the beep or what?
It was 3 years ago. So what happened? The beep went off and you didn't know where the party was.
All right, so I get the fucking beep. I'm on the ferry going over Staten Island. I get to Staten Island. I get on the phone. No fucking answer from this beep. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going back. I go back, and then I get the beep again. I call I'm in Manhattan. I call. All right, fucking, this is where the party. All right, go back. Fucking, there's no fucking party. I fucking end up going. I'm on this. It's 4 a.m. I took the ferry 3 times. I'm at Lexington Avenue and 59th Street here in the city, waiting for the end train to go back to a story. I'm like, this is just fucking throwing yourself in front of the train, dude.
All right, let me just ask this though, Mike. Do you really want to read that note about the fucking?
It's the best note. That's gotta be the best note.
It'd be better if it was a mystery.
No, that's the greatest note ever.
Then I'm back.
Goodbye, world. You don't have a party in Staten Island, then tell me late and then cancel the party.
I'm going to read that and I'm going to go, this is a stupid person. I'd rather the mystery. You know what? He had the heart of a poet, this guy. I mean, he really did. He was sensitive.
Get 4 lines in and just throw it away.
Yeah, I'm not going to finish that. Maybe I'll leave a Mad Lib just for people. Just be little things. I blame this all on blank. It's because
Yeah, but the good thing is you could put farty in every
I
section.
blame this all for farting.
And I've been feeling so farty lately.
Yeah.
Or do it half in English, half in Spanish. It's like, did Chris, did he know Spanish?
Yeah, he knew Spanish.
He's bilingual all the
All you have to do is
time.
go to Babelfish. There's no one going to be able to test them. I'll leave a note and just say that, I have another family in San Diego, and just force people to go looking for their grandchildren and nieces and nephews. I've been living a double life. See, I'm working for the CIA while keeping a family in San Diego. Yeah. Well,
I like those guys with double families. Meanwhile, I can't have one. I don't know. I can't find like a wife.
I kind of feel like that guy's got one of your families. I feel like that could be your family. That's why you're so pro stepdad, because now you're gonna any woman you meet is gonna have a 17-year-old kid.
My option. That's a good scenario. 17, you're almost out of the water there. But that 9, 10, 11 is gonna. That's you're not my dad. Fuck you.
Right. See,
And,
17 is when they start to square off with you, though. Yeah. Then they shoulder up, and you're like, look, kid, I know you're feeling young and strong, but I'll fucking kill you. And then the mother's crying and shit. You can't even fucking beat his ass because you're beating up her kid.
Yeah.
She's not going to take your side.
Even though
She's not going to take your side.
Terrible at that age. No matter who. You take the best kid in America and you put him between like 13 and 17, and he's horrible.
Yeah. Especially in that situation, like he knows he's not your dad. He knows you're sleeping with his mom. Even if you're a well-intended guy, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. There's still that friction there. It's like, you're banging my mom, bro.
You're just laying there and you just hear this fucking dude railing her in the other room. She's screaming, oh my God. He's just like, I'm going to fucking kill this kid. You had to put up with it, right?
Yeah, my mom had a boyfriend for 10 years.
Yeah.
But,
and he used to bring home friends too, and they would both be with her?
No, I never heard any intercourse, but I wondered it about later on in my life. I was like, man, did they ever have sex? Because we have a small apartment, and I definitely would have heard it.
Well, you sleep at the end of her bed like a dog, right? Down there at night.
That's going to be Leslie's spot.
But what was the story with your dad? Did they get divorced?
No, he died.
Okay.
Why would you bring
Jesus,
that up?
Mike?
I know how to kill. I know how to kill a comedy program.
Yeah,
bring up the dog.
Yeah, let's try to bring it back now, guys. What did he die from?
Lung cancer.
Okay. That's the worst.
You guys are looking at me like I fucked this up.
That's painful before you die, too. That's not easy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. How'd your dad die?
In a coma.
How'd he get there?
Mysterious circumstances.
Right.
Gambling? Or?
I think just bad living overall.
Yeah. Well, at least he wasn't a heroin addict.
Oh, no, that helped.
Okay. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, it's part.
And heroin's only part of the problem.
Just one small, big part.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, at least Gail's dad's still alive. We can celebrate that fact.
I have that going for me.
Yeah.
So.
He's writing a suicide note. As we speak.
They say it was heartbreak that killed him.
Yes. He was let down by his show.
No!
Like many men, he was let down by his show.
Even if he were sick, I think that's what you'd want people to say.
Fuck yeah. I want to hide in the other room and listen to that stuff.
I like the Irish the way, I've never been to an authentic Irish, but it's like they drink and celebrate the life versus the Italians, which is like just very like throwing themselves out.
Well, we drink differently. The Irish and the Italians drink differently. We drink to get drunk. You drink to wash your food down with. It's a totally different thing. Is there any hard liquor in an Italian's? You ever go, you want a Sambuca? I'm like, it's not going to make me forget my fucking problems, all right? I'm not looking for something to put over a fucking dessert. I'm trying to forget the life I've lived. The Irish drink so much they actually forget to eat.
Yeah.
Somebody will forget. There'll be all these things, and we get any food? No. We didn't think of it.
Shit.
Italians lay out food as if it wasn't what killed the man to begin with himself.
That's really true.
Of course, that's the same with liquor in the Irish, too. I
think the Irish suppress their emotions so much, where it's like when they drink, it's just fine. It just comes out. You know what I mean? Whereas Italians are just more, I think, in general, more emotional. Yeah. But Irish are like that, I think. Like they get super emotional when they're freaking shit-faced. But before that, now it's like they keep it all.
Well, the thing, they express themselves through a headbutt. But Italian men are happy to hug. They're happy to cry.
Yeah.
They let it all out there like that. The guys' neighborhoods that I grew up with, the fathers, even their own kids seemed like they didn't know them. And it was my buddy Fergie, his dad. We were all doing acid, and we had to, we wanted to go up to his room and listen to music. And we were like, oh, his dad's there. And we used to call him Movie Man because he would just sit in the same fucking chair and stare at a movie.
Movie Man.
Never what it was. He never looked at a TV show, never looked at a sport thing, just movie. So we're sitting there. We're like, all right, here's what's going to happen. When we walk into the place, we'll just tell him that we were over at Steve's house and that we're just going up for a little while. It took us 2 hours to fucking come up with what we thought was the perfect fucking thing to say. Because you're tripping, you don't know how to explain yourself anyway. And we're playing out everything that there was. So the three of us, we walk in the living room, stand in front of him, and that fucker didn't even turn his head to look at us. This is how he felt about his own family and his friends, and who was ever even coming into his home. He didn't give a shit that we were walking through his home to go upstairs and trip. He just kept staring at the fucking movie like all of his life was just a nightmare. The pain that these guys looked like they had. They worked in factories, they drank, they died young. That was it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
They said it was the asbestos. They're only having a story like that. I don't know. Fucking asbestos, I guess. Those were like fucking terrible things. And those guys never complained either. You know what I mean? They just kept it inside.
They kept it in.
Yeah.
It tears you. I think the alcohol is like the medicine to soothe it.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll work for everybody. I don't know.
Now you have an array of different drugs out there.
Yeah.
That can be used.
That's true. There's all kinds of powders and pills.
Yeah.
Lucky. These are wonderful times you live in, kids. Enjoy yourselves.
And your doctor will prescribe them to you.
And you don't have to work in a factory. You can be a YouTube star, internet sensation.
Yeah, you could either do that or you could work in a cubicle,
Yeah.
You really can't come home and tell your kids, shut up. It's been a tough day in the cubicle. What do you do, Dad? I make cold calls. For you kids. I'm making cold calls all day.
I typed a lot today. My fingers are killing me.
My browser. I'm having a fucking trouble with my browser right now.
That's one thing whenever I get depressed about comedy, I just look at the alternative, which is like that, working in a cubicle, or, you'll hear a jackhammer going off at like 8 in the morning. I wake up like, what is going on? Don't these people have any respect for someone who wants to sleep till noon?
Yeah. It is funny. You do get to sleep in.
Mike Vecchione's co-hosting The Night Late Show with Dan Soder tomorrow night, June 29th at the UCB Theater. Go to ucbtheater.com for tickets. His album Muscle Confusion is available now on iTunes. MikeVecchione.com for all additional dates.
Chris, is the ice cream thawed yet?
It's just about getting there, yeah.
Just about getting there.
It's still a little hard, but if we can give it a shot if you like.
I saw Joe in there sitting on it. That's not
Joe.
He's trying to, he's trying to get it to hatch. Now, tell everybody about the ice cream.
Okay, so this is from Young's Dairy in Yellow Springs, Ohio. It's my family's business. We have a lot of it. I don't know. It's a seasonal family place. We've got a couple restaurants, make our own ice cream.
It's phenomenal, though. It's some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my life.
I guess I downplay it.
You do downplay it.
I didn't make it myself.
Are you upset because he's screaming? Chris, there's a whole room full of people looking at you, and you're just screaming on the other side of that. Why are you angry?
Issuing orders, that's all.
Why?
Just letting them know, to bring the ice cream in.
That could be said as nicely as you did to me. I'm seeing you jump up and down like Rumpelstiltskin. There's no reason for it. There's nothing to be angry about.
I don't know what
flavors we have.
Oh my God, I'm having like a range of emotions because it's ice cream on its styrofoam.
Oh yeah.
But here's
Don't touch anything with that, please.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to squeak. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Gail, here's the good news.
Why are you doing that, Joe?
Wow.
She hates styrofoam. Here's the good news,
Don't
Gail.
move it. Just leave it there.
Do you hate styrofoam that much?
Yeah, I can't hear the sound.
There's a way to get through this, though. You just do it a little bit at a time. Look.
Please don't.
I think I saw this on a Jenny Jones.
Please don't.
Can I tell you something? My fingernails are stuck in the styrofoam.
Oh my God, I just heard it. Oh.
So you could never have
something I love on something I hate. It's so confusing.
And there's the good news too. You got the spring before you have to worry about a movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Why the
Eat away.
fuck am I doing this diet? Give me all the ice cream now.
I tried to get a cherry vanilla, but I don't think it's in flavor because I remember you talking about that a little while ago.
Kind of a cherry vanilla guy.
But we have a sour cherry ginger. I've never had it, so
that sounds exciting.
All right, so there's toasted marshmallow,
Mike
peaches
is
and cream.
staring at it, but
Yeah.
you're not going to eat it because you're such an in shape guy.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a low sugar guy.
Well, there's some sugar in some of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it looks delicious.
This
Like I went to
looks like
Penn
it would
State
be
and they
your
have the creamery
jam.
at Penn
Salty
State and they make their own ice
caramel
cream.
crunch.
It's really good.
That's definitely something you'd be into.
Well, you're right about that. Salty and caramel and pretzel crunch.
Oh yeah, that's one of our new ones. It's a good one.
Is that right? Now, who comes up with the flavor? Oh, this is nice. This got very, very nice.
Oh yeah, it looks perfect.
What's it thought?
Actually, we have a lot of our customers come up with flavors. I think that one's a conglomeration of a couple customer ideas. We just put it up on Facebook, and they have about 300 ideas, and there's about 7 good ones out of there, and then we go from there.
But here's the deal with ice cream. If you don't have good vanilla ice cream, you don't have anything.
So yeah, you said that, and it's right to a point. So like vanilla isn't the base per se. So the base is just a bland, tastes like cold dairy,
cream.
right? So but you're right. If a vanilla is bad, the rest of the flavors are also going
Never
to
gonna
suck.
work.
Yeah.
Wow, the toasted
was it.
marshmallow is insane.
I haven't had that one either.
It's so
More
good.
like-
Can I try one?
Yeah.
Dip in, Mike. Come on.
There's no sugar in it at all, Mike.
That's a good thing about it.
It's sugar free?
Oh, no.
100%.
Just tell him.
Mike.
Wow, this is fantastic.
That's crazy,
yeah.
right?
Where are you guys located? In Ohio?
Ohio, about an hour west of Columbus.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny. Obviously I grew up there, but now we live in Columbus, so it's only an hour east, which isn't that far. I mean, even driving country wise, but not everyone in Columbus has heard of Young's. But we have like 1.5 million people come by a year, so it's a big deal. But I just say, I don't name drop because it's not like like my dad's Ben or Jerry, but
Right.
it's a local.
You get 1.5 million people that come through there?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
I mean, and it's the area that it's in. It's right near Dayton, which you may not have heard of. It's not a huge area. And then it's north of Cincinnati. It's kind of equidistant from Cincinnati and Columbus. So
I never remember if I was dating a girl from Eaton or a girl from Dayton. That's the biggest Ohio joke.
Never heard that one before.
I'm from Youngstown originally, so they could
Sorry
probably
to hear
use some
that.
ice cream over there.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. You talk about Chester hitting hard times.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Youngstown's good for murder, but it's great. There's great people there still, though. I don't put down Youngstown.
You're on their
killers,
side. Yeah.
Killers and victims.
Here, try this one, that
What's this?
toasted marshmallow. The peaches and cream is super good, too.
Yeah, that's one of my summer favorites.
Yeah.
Vito, what are you looking for? Sauce?
Yeah.
Just have some Italian sauce in there?
Flavored one.
Let's see. German chocolate brownie. Yeah, that's so good, right? The marshmallow.
There's a chocolate fudge brownie. It's one of our standards. I used to get back when I ate ice cream more than I should have. I would get that and then like the little chocolate chip Teddy Grahams and put that in there and really have a sugar coma for the rest of the week.
That marshmallow is unbelievable.
Wow.
This is the caramel. Try that one.
And this is the brownie?
Yeah.
This is the new wine tasting.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
is.
I think is there a chocolate peanut butter? Or is that
Are we supposed to be spitting this out?
Still a little too hard. Those
That
are the
one-
softest ones.
That one gets rough.
This blows away the Sirius XM ice cream social.
That was an embarrassment.
I know, right? Every year. It's like ice cream social, and then we're disappointed every year. This is so much better.
Is it just like Ben and Jerry's or?
No, they gave us the same Dixie cups they used to give us at school.
Unbelievable, right?
The wooden spoon.
Yeah.
It's not even a spoon.
Yeah.
It's a stick. Fucking shit. It's terrible.
Those things seem like they came through from some Russian camp. And yet, because you're a kid, you're still eating it.
Oh, it's super exciting as a child.
Give this to psychotics and children.
Why is it that children can eat, like their threshold for sweets is just like
unbelievable,
insane?
right?
Who are we?
Like,
We
you
just had that conversation the other day. I think there's a scientific thing, but I know you've talked about it, Ron. Of like you could eat, like when you come home from Halloween, you could eat a bag of candy.
Yeah.
But if you tried to do that now, you probably would die midway through it.
Well, you normally turn down candy now. When you're an adult, you're like, when you eat a piece of chocolate, and you're like, oh my God, no.
Or you can have a piece of chocolate and be like, oh, that's just enough sweet for me.
But it's not like you've consciously stopped eating as much candy. You just start slowing down. I guess your body doesn't get used to consuming 8 pounds of sugar in an afternoon.
Yeah, because no one says to you, hey, you can't have a pixie stick when you're an adult. But you don't crave them. When you were a kid, a fucking pixie stick would be fantastic to you.
Yeah, and you would have like multiple pixie sticks.
Yeah.
You would be like, oh, yeah.
You feel like there wasn't enough pixie sticks.
Or like, you know, like there would be some like desserts that were so sweet that it could like numb the back of your throat. And you were like, yeah, whatever. It's like, there was no such thing as something being too sweet.
No.
I was thinking about Fun Dip the other day. And that's just a sugar stick.
Of course you
it into sugar.
But it's not even good until you get the stick wet with your own saliva. You know, when you think of just the grossness of that.
Damn, that one's insane. The German chocolate brownie.
Wow, the Germans know their ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, they know that, and they they know order.
Snappy dressers.
Lovely people. So lovely when you get to know them.
Warm.
Oh, they're good with their own kids.
They're fantastic.
And it's actually Kelly, my wife, on the side of the pint. So she's a teacher. So every once in a while, someone from her school will be like, "Oh, I think I saw your wife on the side of an ice cream cone." not quite making the connection.
That's fantastic.
That's super cool.
What is that? The cherry?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a little younger. That was you were of adult age, so it wasn't.
Yeah, you were 40 and she was 13, and you actually took this off a milk carton and put it there.
She's actually from Thailand.
Wow.
Every flavor is great.
Thanks.
Too bad Vito didn't get anything.
I know, I'm sad.
Sorry, man.
Shit out of luck, Vito.
Vito, when we're done eating, we're just going to throw this out.
You can lick the tops of the pints.
You said you were going to get diesel this year.
I did say that.
Swole. He wanted to get swole.
I found out. I just, I don't know. I got lazy and I didn't like going all the way down to the gym I belong to. So now I've just been waiting out my gym membership, the year-long contract to end, and I'm going to join the gym downstairs from here. Because it's only like $40 a month, I was told.
What do you pay now?
Well said.
We're all mid-bite ice cream, like, keep going with
the ice cream is our focus now. What are you talking about, the gym? I'm just kind of carve out this ice cream. I gotta say, like, a motivator is there's some beautiful women, like, walking around just this building, this floor.
Sure.
I was sitting in there, I was like blown away.
Well, that was Blink 182 that you were looking at. They still look good.
Tight.
Yeah. Well, New York City brings in some attractive women. Not as much as L.A., though. I think even the people of New York would admit to that.
Well, the NBC, the people in this building, they only hire like young, attractive girls not from the city, and they all wear the same things. They all have like Louis Vuitton bags, and I don't know what brand this is, but it's a shoe and it has like an iron cross on it, and it's like gold. And it's every woman to the person.
A shoe with an iron cross
foot fetish. Nice to meet you, foot fetish.
You just lay on the floor.
And Nazi fetish.
And Nazi.
He's a foot fetish Nazi.
I think those are Pope slippers that you're looking at. The Iron Cross as the brand on a shoe.
And it's gold. It's very, I don't know how the hell it works, but every woman has them.
But the women in New York, don't you feel like they're not as modelly attractive as the LA, but they look more like attainable? Like a neighborhood guy could like talk their way into dating them versus LA. They look like, I won't even have a word with you unless you're 6'3". And
you're like a freak.
I have a height thing, so it's like, I always think
Tory Burch is the name, I'm being told. Tory Burch is the name of your shoe. Look it up to make sure.
That's Tory Burch.
That's the Iron Cross?
Yeah, this woman sells a lot of shoes, at least in the Midtown area.
Is it the shoe that wraps up? It kind of looks like half. It's like an open toe. But,
Gotcha, yeah.
No, I've never seen those.
Those are hideous.
Yeah, I've seen those around.
They look like ballerina slippers.
It looks like something Hitler's daughter would wear into the shower.
Little Ava.
There's not enough there for me to consider that a shoe. You know
there's
what I mean?
no
It's
support
above a
there.
slipper,
There's
Yeah, summer shoes are difficult for women.
Is that right?
That's why it's like boots all year. Because like in the city, if you're walking around, you're walking barefoot. You're walking barefoot. Then.
I think in the city, you should wear steel tip boots.
Yeah.
Because, shit falls all the time.
shit falls, but it's like you gotta have some kind of comfort. Like there's no soul. And then the other ones who wear the big, like they even look like stilts. Like I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you walk around like that.
I don't know.
It's painful.
Gotta rock these.
And then when some women are being bitches, you're like, oh, that's why, because of your footwear.
You're in a bad mood.
So you think that's why?
That's my theory. No, it has nothing to do with my personality.
Now, do you ever say, honey, it's your feet? You're not mad at me. Your arches have collapsed.
I'm sure that goes over well. Too.
Yeah.
You make terrible shoe decisions. That's why you're mean.
You just need Dr. Scholl's. No, everything will be all fine.
Yeah.
I don't get how guys wear boat shoes because you don't wear socks with them. And I don't like the idea of like beer spilling on like the top part of your foot.
You just stop.
I like the beer.
Yeah.
I like this scenario.
No, whenever you're at a bar and I see dudes wearing boat shoes, I'm like, your feet are gonna be real sticky.
You know what I don't like? Whether it's boat shoes or sandal, like I don't like a dude who's just way too he's just way too comfortable. I'm like, do you just think there's no possibility of anything happening ever? Like a fire or a fight or anything happening? You just have terrible footwear.
Yeah.
In any of those situations.
I've always been uncomfortable with open toe with a man.
In the city, I don't like it.
Makes me very uncomfortable. You wear it on the beach, you're on the boardwalk or whatever, that's fine. But I'm very uncomfortable when I see men on the subway with an open toe shoe.
Me too.
It's weird.
Are you ever happy to see somebody in shorts, no shirt, and a sports jacket walking around? Hi, everybody.
Classy look.
It looks like their dad really fucking put away some money. That's all I can figure out. Hey, your dad must have had a pretty nice career. We got to get out of here, Chris.
Yes, we do. Norman Lear Unmasked happening Monday, July 11th at 3:30 p.m. You go to the interrobang.com for a chance at free tickets as Norman Lear Unmasked.
I have a feeling he's not going to be as funny as Big J. That's just my own personal I just don't think he's going to have the quick wit.
And Mike Vecchione is co-hosting the Night Late Show with Dan Soder tomorrow night, June 29th, UCB Theater. Go to ucbtheater.com for tickets. Mike's album, Muscle Confusion, is available now on iTunes. Go to mikevecchione.com for additional dates and follow him on Twitter at ComicMikeV.
How about Dennis Dugan, who's done 10 Adam Sandler movies, says, Mike Vecchione is a fucking hysterical man.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
That's awesome.
It's very sweet of him.
Seems like he's a longtime fan.
I met Adam Sandler once at Stand Up New York years ago, and with his crew, and he was super nice. And everybody in his crew is
talking about nice. He's managed to maintain that regular guy stuff, even though we know he's got $1 billion.
Yeah,
you know,
he
comes across as the regular. We saw him years ago when you were a kid at Hooters. He just came in. We're watching the ball games with everybody else.
Yep.
It was a Sunday and all the games were up and everybody's eating wings.
And it's the same Hooters, I think, that they did Big Daddy.
You're right.
So it was legitimately like where he likes to hang out.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a surreal thing.
I didn't think of that. We were like, this is kind of weird. we're in Big Daddy right now, but we're the friends in the background. Yeah. All right. That's it for us. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming in. It was so nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, thanks.
So you're heading back to the Youngstown or
Columbus tomorrow.
All right, we'll
back to see our kid.
Columbus
Maybe.
crew. Yeah, try to pick him up.
We'll see if she's there.
Yeah, that's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening.